Hello, hello. I think I am live. This is Jamie. Hi, I'm Jamie. This is Tradespotting. Here we cover GME and AMC. Welcome to the show. Thanks very much for tuning in. If you're new, think about hitting that subscribe button and get involved in the chat box. It's very active here. I have got to, as is tradition around here, if you're new, you won't know, I go through a series of technical difficulties every day. It's great fun. And today is no different. Yo, somebody's here. Excellent. A few folks have arrived in that stream. And this old one, how do I get across to the new one in my chat box? I'm in the old one chat box, you see. Bye, old chat box. Hello, new chat box. I have to change the old settings here. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Yes, breaking news, because that's what it's like around here. Everything I say is breaking news. So, thank you very much for tuning in. Just update this. Pardon moi. Moi is being pardoned currently. And that's correct. And up here and fix this. Okay, excellent, excellent. Finally, save these settings. Is that correct? It should be. And I've here, and everybody who's in the old chat box, I'm sorry, but you're in the wrong place. Maybe someone would like to tell them I'm live over here if you want to flirt back over there and tell them over there. Or could I just end that stream and direct them to here? Could I do that? Probably not. It's probably not going to happen. And to get this link, how am I going to get the link? Is there a link to it? There isn't. There's no link to this stream. Share? Is that it? Share. This. Copy. Excellent. I just have to go and give these guys, because they might not have found me. If there's anyone left in that. Says it's upcoming. Huh? Bet you think you are, aren't you? The stream is dead. Long live the stream. That's the stream. Okay, excellent. That's done. Sorry, this is supposed to be GME and AMC. As you can see, GME's at 192.41. Last couple of days, it has spent a lot of time at this price. Okay, excellent. There's 77 of us here. Okay, fantastic. I suspect if I give it a couple more minutes, everybody else will arrive. Hit the like button if you're here, please. Thank you very much. And think about subscribing. GME, you are so handsome. That's all, mate. Carry on. Thanks very much, JAA. It's well appreciated. That's the top compliment. Flattery will get you everywhere. How are we looking today? Gorgeous, apparently. Toy BB. Gorgeous. Good morning. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated. Right. Shane posted it. Excellent. If you were waiting for a sound, well, I understand, right? I was freaking waiting for a freaking sound. Move this over. Have I nearly done yet? Nope. Are we nearly done yet? Nope. There it is. Got the chat up now. I can see what they're saying. I've got the charts here, so when I flick screens, I'll have it. Have we got a timer? Have we got a timer? Jamie, you haven't. Add one. Add. Here we go, folks. I even got a timer. Just leave it there, right? That'll do. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Everything's good. I should start that timer. Here it goes. Whoops. If you're waiting for a noise, this is today's noise. Welcome to the show. Hit the like button.
the bling and the fun, yeah. I don't forget it, don't forget it, a separation from your digital trending. Don't try to type a phrase that you could offend me. Don't try to congregate with all of your friends with. None of these problems ever start to descend me. I don't forget it, I'm the king of the spot. I'm race car driver and I lead at the top. Let's go. A middle finger to your favorite bird. It's like the way you dress the way that you sound. You don't believe me when I say that you're wrong, you're wrong. You wanna get it, wanna get it, wanna get it.
Ah. Mic check. Check, check, check. You got it working. You can hear me, but you can't see me. And one day everyone will know my name and my face, but they'll never be able to put the two together if I can help it. So we're looking at the charts. This is the daily chart. Apparently somebody said it looked like the 5-minute chart. There's the daily chart. There's a 5-minute chart. Let's hit auto and see what happens. Well, they don't look all that different. Yeah, they do every time your auto's on. I suppose you could scale things to look the same, and there's a lesson in that. You can scale nearly any chart to look like any other chart. You can scale any indicator to look like any other indicator. And it'll mean nothing that it looks the same. Absolutely nothing. Less than nothing, in fact. It'll just distract you. 5-minute below the 200. Do I think that's going to persist? Well, there's a gap that needs filled, so why not do it now? That's what I would think. We're here, so let's do it. 190 spot 50. The support is at 190 on that level. This is, of course, the 5-minute time frame where, you know, you see things happen in 5-minute increments. Down at the 1-minute time frame where it's even more exciting. You can see this is a downtrend. Slap on the indicators and you can see throughout this move, yeah, it was positive, but in terms of the strength of it, the RSI was already in the bullish control zone, overbought. It only just made it above the 200, came back down, and it doesn't have much underneath it to catch it, rather than the RSI doing that opposite, and then bounces back again, bounces back again, bounces back again. What does that mean? Well, in 1 minute, it's not very definitive. On the 5-minute, you can see it is a downtrend on the RSI. We haven't had any divergence in that move, so that's positive. And we can see that we did have some bullishness here, so continuation likely from here. 15 minutes. Interesting, because we've got two of them left. We're below the 50, below the 200, above the 50. You want, obviously, those to be the other way around and price action to be above both. Did we sacrifice the stream, pre-stream lobby today? We did, Wilfrick. We had to. I was in there trying to get things ready for ages, and I saw your humorous comments, and I appreciated them greatly. Thank you very much for all the execution work you've been doing recently. It's not like, so you know, you have to get your hands dirty doing that job, and other people maybe don't understand the effort that goes into it. So I'd like to thank you personally, Wilfrick. GME. Tweet with the high score achieved had AMD reply, is no one going to do it? What mean? GME tweet with the high score achieved had AMD reply. AMD replied, is no one going to do it? High score achieved. What does that mean, chat? You all know the answers to these things. Stream was his name. he actually had a proper title, put time into and everything. More fool me, isn't that what they say? So, yesterday we had a comment on one of the videos saying, only was one, saying, Jamie, disappointing amount of time spent on GME today, or words to that effect. And I empathize with that person, because there was less time spent on GME because we were so busy with other things, but we still did do plenty on GME. And I think that perhaps the slight difference in the amount of attention it got overall was just because I was trying to help everybody else get as good of a coverage of all the things they were looking at. And today is the same. I'm happy to do that. So if you want to let me know if you want to look at something or whatever, I'll happily do it. Assuming we've got time and I don't conk out with tiredness. I already thought I'd look at a couple of things that maybe people didn't quite get their fix on during Rocky's stream earlier, because he had some buffering issues and the whole stream was over an hour and a half, I think, and it got cut down to 40 minutes or something because of all the buffers. So people missed out on some good informations. What was that? That was an alert, but I didn't see it on the screen. That's well annoying. Where is it? See it there on the bottom left, though. Subscribed. I don't want subscribe alerts coming up. Thank you very much for subscribing, though. How do I turn that off? And bingy bing bong. I don't know how to turn off that noise. Shit, that's going to do my head in. Still, subscribe. Do my head in. Go for it. Tradespotting. Spy. Bounce back up like I said it would, didn't it? Diddly 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 diddly. Boom. Ha. Pff. Let's look at it on a 4-hour. Get more of a picture of his structure in that. Who does TA like this? Bing. Anyway, we're above the 50 period. You've had a touch of bullishness about it. It's an uptrend. Pushing harder down, failing to get price down lower. So all that extra effort it took to get the RSI lower than it did over here didn't even bring the prices down as low as they had done at that attempt. And so that would be suggestive of the bulls have managed to do something. Good on them. Well, good news. Let's see. There are everybody else out there talking about how the world's about to fall apart. Right now, right here, right now. Oh, Jimmy, you're not on the charts when you're talking about that. Up, back, down on the charts now I'm talking about it. There's Spy. Yeah, sorry. Get that horrible face off the screen. Ugh. Though he has got a lovely new t-shirt on. What is that t-shirt he's wearing? So the RSI is covered center line. Your DMI suggests on the 4-hour time frame that the DI plus is in the ascendancy, and your ADX not really giving you much, but then you've come back up, touched that area. This is probably a 786 retrace from this drop down here. Maybe it's an 886. It's the 886. If I put this in more accurately, yeah, it's 886. So, you know, that was obvious, right? That's not going to get above that anytime soon. We'll look at what it does on the downside then. If this is your low, say this 886 is your high. Now I'm going again as I did when I predicted all of this from way ahead of time. Now predicting stuff way ahead of time. So, you know, don't lynch me when it happens. You're 200 below there. You're 886 on the other side of it. More likely you get some sort of 618 retrace, but that would take you below the 50 period again. 236 is where the 50 is at, so we'll be looking at that. And I think if you drop below this 50 on the 4-hour, then you'll go down to the 618, which you've already got a line at. Feeling that you'll drop probably to the 886, but the 200 period moving average on the 4-hour might catch you before you get there. So I wouldn't look for that move. Instead, I'd think this 236 would be the bottom of this golden pocket, and it likely catches you here. So that's your zone for your re-entry if you're looking to go long and it drops. If you believe it's going up, that would be a nice entry for it. And if you think it's going down, well, you're going to like, it's just done all of this on the tiniest hint of bullishness. It's closed the gap. It's got to an 886. If you're asking for it to like be a good place to short, potentially it's straight away as soon as it got there. If not, maybe you're looking for something like, let's say it came right from the ultimate top here. Might be looking for a golden pocket area entry, and that would be here. So that might be a good short at 4467, 4466. That's what we already got. Can't be there. It's got that. So it'd be 786 then if it pushes up further. That would have broken its previous horizontal. Yeah, but it would be where it likely comes in if it does do a lower top. But you wouldn't be able to short it from there unless you were watching it at the time. Ideally, I'd see it go above its previous high and put in divergence. That's what I'd be interested in. So hard to short this thing if you're going on dust that level of TA alone. But we'll take a little line there and say yes, continue anyway, you idiot. And Yeah, so that's why I'd be interested in it breaking that previous high, at which point I'd be checking its RSI and DMI. But as you can see on 4 hour, dropping down to 1 hour, very strong, very strong. 15 minutes, 30 minutes stuff, and that's a tiny touch of rolling over potentially, but 15 minutes higher highs, that's okay. Looks quite healthy. Problem is it's got its own gap now, innit? And it always fills its gaps. Always. Oh, is it a gap? Well, it is, but it's freaking tiny, so close enough is near enough in this instance. Right, so does it go down? Quite possibly. Is this the place to enter a trade? Definitely not. If you're already in one, we're taking profits. No excuse. And that is SPY just briefly. What else is interesting now? We're here. Rolls Royce is up 127. That's hilarious. PLTR bounced off this line. You've got a double top in here. Obviously, there was going to be some resistance at your previous peak. You have filled in a gap, gone on again, touched that area of resistance, come down. RSI's done well to stay above the center line. I'd like to see it try again, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That one was a little divergent and it still went on again. This 28 level, that's where you want to go below if you're trying to short it. If you're trying to go long again, you're looking up to the next level at 31. Oof, I don't know about that yet. 4 hour did well to get that high. Is it in the bullish control zone yet? It's close to it. I wouldn't bet against it at the minute. That's the truth, actually. Wouldn't bet against this at the minute. Good sign on the on the DMI as well. Daily close on this. Still a downtrend. The measure move. Top side of that is a lot to ask for. Still looking at this for a re-entry at 23, but it's done well to do the 28. That's your take profit area if you're me. It got through it, great. Touched it again, bounced up again. That's very strong that it could do that. But on the higher time frames, you can see it's not actually put in any higher high. So nothing convincing on that yet. Naked 2% down. Haven't pushed up to 3.3. Nope, we're on a very long time frame. That's wrong. Would be nice though. It got up to 6.3. Give or take. Nice. 2% back on the day. You've got a golden cross on this 15 minutes cross. It's going to test it. It's like not scary. 30 minutes. It's 200 period moving average. Be surprised if it didn't test the 50 before the 50 crossed above the 200 here, resting on the 50 on the 1 hour with the 200 above you, and it becomes obvious what recent price action is doing, you know, testing this long-term trend that we dropped out of. Are we going to go back into it again? Should it be being above the 200 would say we're above the 50 period, so we're all back in the upside on the shorter term version of that same trend. Mifamigaligatita. Hello, friend. Could we take a quick look at BBIG today? Yes, sure, certainly can do so. Does this look like a re-entry? Well, it's a test of the 50 period on the 1 hour time frame as it's on the center line of the RSI, and you've got the Rick and Morty lips coming in on Rocky Outcrop's DMI with the ADX in near above 38 level, so it looks excellent. Excellent. And then GME, I'm not sure if the answer to that question is I don't do financial advice. And then 50 period below 200 there, skirting along beside each other. Obviously, the 50 period having a shorter look back period than the 200, it'll take on a more exaggerated slope with recent price action. And so while price action hovers below each of these moving averages, there won't be a cross on the 50 and the 200. But price action is quite close to both of them, and this is a continuation of the previous higher lows and higher highs. RSI below the center line on the hourly, so that's not as positive as it could be. ADX though is coming up from a long distance away, so it takes a while for the trend to confirm on that sort of thing. We'll go up again here. Now we're at the hourly and see the 4 hours actually bounced from the bearish control zone. You've got some sort of trend line coming across here. Various different ways of drawing it. If it does test this center line, which could be the resistance above us at around 196, and it has already been there now. So if it then comes down again, say it goes there though, because of the center line, there's a bit of room above you, then comes down, reaccumulates around here, very positive, very positive. And it's likely, GME does go on again if it does put in these sort of bases. If you drop back down at lower levels, 15, you can see that an interplay between the two moving averages. Again, similar on this asset as it was on the other tickers. You've got a gap. Like we said, you could fill it at 190 and change. Have we done that yet? Not quite. Go on down another 75 cents and you'd have put that narrative to bed. You would then go on beyond it perhaps and test the levels of horizontal support. I would very much expect it to do so. That's how technical analysis would suggest. Then you look left and you see that 196 level. Why it's so important, so many turnarounds, so much information on the that particular price point for people to chew over. If, for example, you wanted to look at this, do I have enough for this? There's your reason why. Stretch it out. Well, actually, 196 of this chunk. Well, actually, I didn't want that one. I wanted this one. Yeah. Well, it's still a zone 196 to 200. That's the 382 up to the 0.5 Fibonacci retrace from our most recent high in this channel that you can see more clearly on the 4 hours. This is where most price action has been telling us what's going on with the narrative at these extreme lows and this high. And within this channel, you can see there's a basis line. That's where a lot of the important decisions will be made throughout the trend. As when you're above this in terms of price action, you're trending up on the RSI. When you're below it, recently it's been what I assume at the minute it would be working assumption is it's accumulation, which would be very different from what we saw during this period where there was like at the highs there was distribution, though at all extreme lows there was way more accumulation. So more of that then playing out would be a lack of distribution at the top and sharp peaks as volatility came into play. So that's what I would say now at this side of the trend, which is different from the 10th of June. Oh, you're up there. From the 10th of June and into around this first weeks of August, is that now at that stage low volume wasn't particularly good for volatility and moves to the upside, but now because of the nature of how the charts have manifested, like how they've showed us, the story there was more important was the accumulation as proved by this high or low on our macro timeframes. When you look across and see it caught the trend at that uptrend there, we've talked about plenty of times. What you can say is that now that's likely to be more obvious here, and then low volume is on the cards. It'll be people that push it and buy it that takes it up, and it'll go up in spurts, and so they're likely to see that sort of thing. And what that would mean for your RSI is that you would get that typical bearish divergence, it would seem, on the top side of your moves. And from my own personal experience, if that's happening on something like a 1 hour and a 4 hour time frame, it's going to take like 6, 7, 8, 9 examples of that before the moves, like you're looking left thinking about previous highs and everybody's like, yeah, it was so obvious it was in an uptrend. But at the time they all experience anxiety because that divergence, if they don't see it themselves, they feel it in price action, and they see it when it goes up, it's quick and doesn't satisfy their psychology, but it's higher up there and it's better. And so this is already the nature of this, and it's likely to keep happening. That's the way these accumulation distribution things work when you haven't broken support and resistance. Some people find it very frustrating. So you're looking at those areas, 216 above you to 219. Whoops. What does that mean? Order is colon, thank you very much. Some fanny named Billy Door has a question for you. Hey, where is the question? Billy Door Billy Door, what world do you all live in? Unreasonable land, mate. It's called unreasonable land, Billy. That's where we live in. Where do you live, Billy? Billy Door, Mr. Door. Where do you live? Nice entrance. Where do you all live? Unreasonable land. Thanks very much, Orders Colon, for helping facilitate this eloquent conversation I expect to unfold between myself and Mr. Door. So here you've got these targets above you, 1, 2, 3. The first one in at around 216, that'd be great. 196 to 219 above, 196 to 199. Bit of a tough zone, but once you're through it, you're looking up at 216. Above that, you're looking at 225, and then above that, you're looking up at 247. Test the previous high of this area where things broke down at, which is normally what you'd expect to do, right? If you come in and put in a high or low in a macro time frame, the next step is testing your previous highs. That's where you're on for. So, Joe, like that's like completely and utterly normal TA. Like not a single thing I've said there's even remotely esoteric or difficult to follow. It's all very, very simple, and that's what it is. Billy Door, no, you don't, Joel. Just at him. Yeah, just at me, like everybody else is doing. Tradespotting. No reminder. What the hell? No reminder. Reminder. What reminder? What reminder, Randall? What the hell? What are you talking about? No reminder? No, but if you want priority, he would see it. Yeah, I'd see it. What do you want to say, Billy? I'm reading all the messages here. Like, man, we've only been live a couple of minutes, and if you're already getting pissed off that I'm not seeing your message, like you're just impatient. Hey, it's all on you. If you like, you can just say at Tradespotting and I get it straight away. You don't have to pay a penny. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I literally don't, because I haven't seen you say anything yet, and I'm reading messages in chat here, and I've got it on. I was on. Come on, I can't make it go any faster. Somebody else want to tell me what he's saying if he can't manage to get it out himself. I would come perfectly open to being your friend, mate. But all I've seen from you so far is a message where you generalised everybody and asked where they come from. Diddle. Hello, I can't get it up. Anyway, so Jackson O. Jackson O. Somebody's taking hold. If there's calls on the GME JVI already, then I can't see your messages, buddy. A trace one. Don't worry, Billy Door is a fanny. See there, Nicholas. Thank you very much, Nicholas. He managed to get it to work. Billy, why weren't you able to make it work? Because it's really not difficult. Billy, no messages. Yeah, exactly. There's literally no messages. What the fuck? Tradespotting, he wanted to know what you did before all this. Before GME or before I traded. Junk mail, Tradespotting, some apes not patient, others zen. This is the way it goes. Maybe he's just impatient, which is fine. Let's be friends, Billy. Like, let's now be better friends than we would have otherwise. Come on. Bloodshot Blinkers, Tradespotting, he's asking you what you did before this. Tradespotting, he was asking what you did before this. Okay, cool. Well, what I did before this was I did this same thing for 20 years in order to pay for my bills and run my life. I'm a trader. I've been a trader my whole professional life. And before that, I did this for myself. I worked at one of the world's largest investment banks, trading in funds worth hundreds and hundreds of millions, if not more, dollars. And before that, I went to university and got all the qualifications you need to do this with other people's money at these sort of places, from which I was left when I was invited to go and work at that bank, which I worked at a number of, until I thought, fuck it, I'm good enough at doing this, I should just be doing it for myself. I'm not interested in getting paid whatever percentage of the value of this money. I'm taking all the responsibility for it. I'd rather get paid all of the reward for the work I do. And I believe that work is the death of freedom. I think that there's too many people don't know enough about how the world works and the machinations of the financial markets. So I've brought what I know to the table here for all these lovely people. And we've got like a really friendly, cool community on the go. And I did all of this with my brother. I've got a really strong symbiotic relationship with. He's called Rocky Outcrop. And He's the guy that inspired me to start YouTube. So I'm here doing that. That's what I was before this. That and, you know, the same doomslaying bastard I've always fucking been. Anyway, I'm reasonably calm about things at the minute, despite all of the technical difficulties to start off with. Orders calling Tradespotting. I went to university too, but I only got the qualifications to philosophize. Philosophize. Plum plum. I worked with plenty of philosophers. Like, if you get a fucking first class degree from a great university, it's a surprising amount if you end up on trading desks. It's weird. I think it's weird. I always was like, well, that's weird. Another one. Tradespotting. At least Billy Dumbledore didn't thumbs you down. Oh, now you see it, Nicholas. Now you see it. There'll be plenty coming. Oh, Billy. Billy's angry. Why are you angry, Billy? Now I'm not seeing any of your angry messages either. Makes it look easy. I don't know what's going on. I find his response adequate. What? Who's the response? What are we talking about? Tradespotting. Rutgers. Tradespotting. Rutgers? The Rutgers. Oh, market's closed. For fuck's sake, I've gone through it with that. Market's closed. 191.24. So again, GME did nothing. Fucking didn't even get on AMC yet. 39.98. So you could call that a pullback if you wanted. But again, we talked about this yesterday. I suppose I can get rid of that now, eh? There's a message. Hey, Jamie, my sister is an ape and watching you for the first time. Hi, cachicho. Buenos dias. Buenas, hermana de Chachicho. Hi, Jamie, my sister is an ape and watching you for the first time. Can you tell her what holding GME means to you? Means to me? Whoa. What does it mean to me? Well, that's a long question. That's a really long answer. The short version is it's like, well, I'm Scottish, so we'll have a slightly different perspective on things from yourself. But of course, if you were around in 2008, you'll remember this huge hiccup in the financial markets and how they went about sorting it out. And the way they did that was the government deferred to the banks. And they said, how can we make this least harmful for the banks? And the answer was that that society would have to pay for it. We'd have to eat those losses that were created because of unsustainable risk that was created by those executives of those banks at the time. Big problems, obviously. If you were around at the time, you'll remember was that debt became a very hot commodity, and it was packaged in various ways in various different instruments and then sold. And those debts being sold meant that the holders of them were then entitled to collect those payments on that debt as time went by. But the companies that packaged and sold that debt were able to collect that its current value all in one go, you know. So those executives of all these banks took out risky instruments and sold them to these mortgage holders or credit card holders, and then used all that debt to sell this package off to other people, which would then result in them getting a huge payday, and then they're filling their bonuses. And that was really greed, and individual greed from people right at the top of the system who we most have to rely on for it to work properly, completely and utterly fucked us in the ass. So bad, like they fucked us so bad that job in that investment bank that I got just after I left university, my life trajectory immediately changed. It was cut more than in half what I'd be able to do in my life because of how the people that currently ran the system fucked it for their own greed, knowing what they were doing in advance. It's all well documented now. And yeah, and also like the apartment that I just got was obviously then worth nowhere near the money it cost me and the mortgage I had to service. So my life was already hugely, massively underwater. The same CEOs of these banks, one of the biggest ones in Britain at the time, the guy, the one at the time, which was Sir Fred Goodwin at the Bank of Scotland, really screwed me over, you know, and he was one of the worst culprits of this, and was also the person who provides most of the mortgages here in Scotland. And then Another one would have been the leader of Barclays Bank himself, the only CEO of ever found guilty of fraud, yet allowed to keep his job as the CEO of a bank. Amazing, isn't it? He then threw my dad out of his home when he had a brain tumor. Despite he'd never missed a mortgage payment in his entire life, and he'd paid off the vast majority of equity in his home, it was still sold from underneath him, and he was made homeless with a brain tumor. He never missed a mortgage repayment in his entire life. You know, so the way that they can create risk for their own individual greed and then place that risk on us, and we have to bear it, that breaks our backs. That and the fact that all of the companies that control the world are also tightly intertwined, in that the financial markets and the insidious evil nature of the people who hold most control of them has led to such terrible problems across society, so much so that capitalism is completely bastardized. You know, like R&D doesn't even work anymore because of the lag that we face trying to recoup economies of scale on now outdated and redundant technology, which applies to every industry, including healthcare. So people die on a daily basis, minute by minute by minute, because of essentially the lack of morality of the people who work at the largest investment banks in the world. And because if anyone was able to do anything about it, up until recently, it wasn't actually possible in any other way than if you were a true innovator. And even doing that, your chances of having an effect on the world and a true impact with the creative innovation that you could come up with during your life that would have at one stage and most times in human history caused the world to make a beaten path to your door and improve the quality of the lowest in society. That's not possible anymore. If you want to make an effect on the global scale, you have to work inside with these people. You have to let them put their hands in your pockets and perhaps literally down your top. You have to let these people guide you and pull you along with their disgusting greed in order for your companies to ever make it onto any of the playing fields where it would make a difference. And even if you were close to getting there, if these people don't like the cut of your jib, they'll just set up a company that destroys you. They'll buy your competitor and short you. They'll do whatever it takes to benefit the few so that they can continue this relentless drive for the 0.1% who own all of the ability to change all of the problems we face today, from terminal illnesses, from unaffordable medicines, to just fairness in the market so that people like me who do this job to pay my bills are being robbed just blindly, like in broad daylight, just being robbed. And it's got so bad that the whole essence of democracy has been undermined. The idea that the authorities that are there to protect society, such as the SEC, who rely on international conventions like the Geneva Convention to protect you and me and our rights. Those organizations that are there to protect us have been so destroyed by lobbyists and by the weak-minded, spineless people who've run it to this day, who have no fucking integrity. Despite their past, they've been in a position of responsibility and they've done nothing. They have done literally nothing in the face of widespread fraud, including to the guy sitting in the seat today. These organizations that are supposed to protect society and us all individually equally don't. In fact, they're even stretching themselves to change the definitions of shareholders so that we carry the can again. And there's only one way to fight that kind of doom, And in Scotland, we like to use a really big sword. We call it a Claymore. It's like 6 or 7 foot long. And really, you need something like that, you know, because it's so insidious, it's so pervasive, it's so evil, and it's so it will swamp you, and it will outstrip multiple generations. The only way to fight it is with some sort of weapon that will absolutely fucking annihilate it. And our weapon of choice is GME. So I hold it to change the world. And there's only 72.6 million of them, or something to that nature. Perhaps it's 74, 75. Happy ever after. But I think I could eventually own an awful lot of that. So I don't just hold it, I buy it. And the beauty of this is I never ever need to do anything else. I don't even need to sell it for my objectives to come true. I just need to buy it and do nothing. I don't need to worry about when MOAS. I don't need to figure out how to best handle it, despite being infinitely capable of both and hopefully a good guide to others who aim to do it. But I know all I need to do is buy it and hold it. So every month and in between, when I've got a chance, I do that at the best possible time when I have available liquidity. And I'll do it forever, to the degree that it's completely irrational. And it's our company. Many times over, it's our company. And if we stick together, it's our market. And so the language has changed. The lesson used to be, can you stay solvent longer than the market can stay irrational? And now it's our market, it's our branding, and it's, can you stay solvent longer than we can stay irrational? And the answer is no fucking danger. You haven't got a fucking chance in hell against all of us. And then I see other people, like everyone in chat, like Daniel Assange, Luke Spears, Paul B, Cachicho, and all the other people, like you yourself, you know the story your brother's going through. And every day, I'm inspired again. And fucking, there is no way in a million years that I'm ever going to change my mind. I probably could have done all of that with a camera on. And maybe the message might have had more impact, but it's the same story. I hold GME because I am going to fuck the bastards that run the world. I'm going to teach them a lesson that they'll never forget. And we're going to leave a plan of revolution, a cultural touch point for future generations to rely on. When those institutions who they grew up with ultimately break and they need to reform them and rebuild them in their own image, they'll have a proper way of doing it where they can look back and they can say, they can tap your phone, they can drive tanks over you, they can blow your house up from very far away, they can kidnap your family, they can destroy your ability to progress in society by turning sections against each other. They can control aspects of politics that will lead to division. But despite your differences, no matter where you come from, every struggle could be aided by buying and holding GME. No matter what your objective, no matter what your goal, there'll be people against you from before you were born. And the only way that you can get anywhere close to laying a glove on them is with GME. And I say that knowing that there are other tickers. The only way you'll ever lay a glove, you might get rich on something else. AMC, you might get really rich on. But if you want to, I think, truly believe, if you want to lay a glove on them, and mine's laced with razor blades and full of concrete and has been coiling up for fucking ages. If you want to lay a glove on them, the answer is GME. AMC will also make you rich and properly fuck them off, but I think the answer to doing it is GME. Anyway, so, and like I say, make you rich, it's true, it could easily do that. What do I think AMC is going to do? Well, is this a high or low yet? You've come into a properly good area to turn around. When you've been here, you've put in a degree of bullish divergence. Use this towards another Claymore. United we stand, and if we stay together, they will fall. 999. Orem. Autumn. Not Orem. Autumn. OJ. Thanks, OJ. This is exactly where I'll go. Luke Spears. Preach, brother Doomslayer. Thanks, Luke. Observe thyself. Yay. The Spanish Fibonacci. No one here watches other YouTubers. Rocky, Outcrop, and Tradespotting are the way. You can watch anyone you like. It doesn't matter. It's cool. I'm all good with these watching people. I watch other people. And that. Some of them are even worthwhile. Some of them are dead nice people. And that, nothing wrong with it. I don't actually have a problem with anyone else doing this thing. Everyone that's advancing the cause is really... I'm with them everything I can do to help them, I will. Though I'm a much smaller audience, obviously, than a lot of other people, and I can only do so much on my own. But this audience and these people, this community, everyone watching along, some of you are the hardcore of this thing. Tradespotting, I paid good money to hear you read an awkward chat. Oh shit. Let's see, where is it? Hopefully it's still here. L. Baker Matthews, thank you for your heartfelt words, Jamie. Truly inspiring. No problem. Just how I feel in it. I'm sure a lot of other people feel the same way or even more strongly about it. And that's not even touching on some of the reasons. Anyway, I'm not going to. But what was it? Where is it? Tradespotting freedom. Thank you, Paul B. Member for 5 months, and this is why we love you, Paul B. Still in church, we like seeing you rant. I should have come back, or at least put my little camera on, shouldn't I? What screen am I on now? The big one. I can't. I've got my cameras in different areas, so this is better. Purr. That's the cat doing the bong. Purring. And that's going to start echoing now. Jamie ramping up. There it is, Daniel. Let's see. It's done it that white text on an orange background. Just love it when it does that. Did I get your resume right for Billy? Billy Door Trade has had many jobs. He started off as an analyst for State Street Bank. Most recently, he has been Vladimir Putin's valet and cage dancer at Moscow's hottest men's club. Man, I don't know. I don't think Moscow has the hottest men's club, cage dance men and cage. I don't know if Moscow, maybe, of course, in private, behind closed doors and whatnot. But I don't know if that's but yes, Putin's private valet. That's slightly less awkward than it could have been, Daniel. Thanks. A chance to VWAPper. Made some beer money this week, thanks to you and Rocky. Excellent. Can we take a look at CRSP? We certainly can. Let me write it down. A couple of other things I was going to look at. Which was this? Was CRSPR. We shall take a look at that in a minute for a chance to VWAP here. Right? Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. I wrote it down. It's all down. Right. 9.99 with him looking like a good. Thank you very much. What else did I miss back here? How'd you meet your sister? That's Kachicho. So I made it through everything. Congratulations, moi. Tradespotting. I paid. Oh, that was that. I've now gone past it. There's my full go. I've been here since January and I have been following all sources of info: MSM, YouTubers, Twitter, Reddit. And this is the first time I see big YouTubers on the matter digress from the movement. The Spanish Fibonacci. The Spanish Fibonacci. And this is the first time I see big YouTubers on the matter digress from the movement. Who's digressing from the movement? Who's the big YouTuber digressing from the movement? I don't understand. Is that me? Spanish Fibonacci, what's up? I love your name, Spanish Fibonacci. What can you elaborate more, please? So I know what we're talking about. Tradespotting. ATR and Naked look to be hot topics in other chats. NAK, that's not Naked. ATR, yeah, I'm going to look at ATR for Jen. I'm going to look at Ride for Truth Seeker. We've done some GME, and then I'll obviously do more at the end. I've done some AMC, I'll do a little bit more on it, and then CRSP. And what's NAK? NAK, what is NAK? Is that Norwegian American thing or something? What is it? Trace one, ATER, they get taken forever to get my materials from CS for their account setup. Boomer as hell. It does get that boomer impression, but it's like nostalgia, isn't it, as well, a little bit with how slow it is. I just wanted to recognise how spot on your ATER TA was. Thanks, Tradespotting, Jen. No problem, Jen. Let's check out ATER now. We're right here. And what did I... How did I digress from the movement? I don't know what I did there. Tell me what I did, Spanish Inquisition. I'm not sure. So the pullback, double top, significantly weaker there on this third try. Below the center line, here's your Rick and Morty kiss, which gives you your second bounce. But there's your 786 and 886. Is this the long we talked about? Is this the long? I'm not sure. Jen, you said after I said it would come back down, I didn't give you much idea of what would be coming next. But it seems as though I've drawn on a trade here, which is very... Has it got it? I mean, is it? No, it's not. It got to 11.21, and that was at 11. That's far enough away to say no. Still, the reaction off that on this 4 hour, what's the 1 hour look like? It was a doji there at the end of the trend, perhaps. Spanish Family short the VIX says he doesn't know about DRS. TMI says he knows about it, but don't speak on it. But don't speak on it. DRS. The direct registration of shares. Right. A lot of people don't actually know much about the direct registration of shares. I mean, the conversation reached my ears and everyone was talking about it, about computer share, and I was thinking, that's cool, but in no way like exclusive to computer share. And certain individuals have to register their shareholdings for other reasons. Just doing a direct registration of your own shares, if you've got less than a certain threshold in certain countries, is up to you. Will it help? It can't hurt. I don't know what other people's perspectives on it are in that, but I know both Short the VIX and TMI are both properly nice dudes. So, but no, but what are we talking about in terms of digress? Are you talking about the computer share thing and that some people are doing it and some people aren't, and that's a digression or something in the movement? Some people are, some people aren't. But then other people do, it's that different, because some people trade options and other people are like, no, don't trade options, and there's like a big gap there. And like I've noticed it's true with YouTubers as well. Some are like, do, and some are like, don't. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Maybe it is. Dennis Lines, humans being made whole. What did that? I hate when my employees come to me for stuff when I'm watching Tradespotting. Good boss there. Wolfric Doomslayer. The Spanish Finapsi Tradespotting is the realest, purest, most committed GME content creator, period. That's thanks very much. That's nice of you to say there. Wolfric, who does chop people's heads off on my behalf, so that must be borne in mind. Or borned. What did I miss? What's the news? Am I still on the breaking news screen? Breaking news, GME. No, we're on ATER. It's $12. Oh yeah, well let's do it now. We had this trade here. It's not quite got it yet, so not, and it's not close enough, right? Percentage wise, it isn't. 15 minutes drop down here. Well, it is close enough. Like obviously, look at that, Jamie. Come on, you're saying it's well close enough. It was at $18. Then it was at $18 when I did this in Jen. Jen, was it at $18 when I drew in this potential long trade and said that it wouldn't go long on it where it was? This would be a retracement here. You've come in, you've put in bullish divergence on this low. That was the entry at that touch here. You've had a strengthening of the DI minus as your ADX has gone up. So that reflects the downtrend you've come through there. That's why the prices went down. But your RSI shows the divergence. You have also recovered. Adding on to the tip from Paul B as a special small thank you for saving my ATR trade. Because it's due, Jamie. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Jen. And what did Paul say? Was that about ATR? Paul said. Paul B, tip for ATR from Gen C and me. Oh, thanks, Paul. You legends. Thanks so much. Cool. Well, I'm glad it helped you as well. Awesome. And it helped you as it may well have done so. So, yeah. Yeah, and you had to come through the 50 and the 200 to get here. You came back up. Maybe this was where it was. I don't remember, right? You've touched that 50, not managed to open and close above it. That was not a good sign, despite having recovered above here. That'll be 50% of this move too. I mean, I don't even need to measure it. You can see it as more or less. That's a 50% continuation likely. Coming in here is your first entry. Your stops beyond this dot here. Is this going to be the thing that screws people, that area? 30 minutes, what's it look like there? No? It's okay. Yeah. There is this other area looking left. Like, this is why the entry is here, because the formation was so different subsequent to this part of the chart, and you would expect this to either come down and test this area where it did once at 382, or go beyond to this area. 236 of this Fibonacci, 236, the whole way back to 236. Try and hold that, and that's what I'd expect. Because what did it do up here? It got through the 618. What sort of a move would this be? Okay. Has tried subsequent from this low to get above the golden pocket again on this Fibonacci and failed. So it may well come back down, try that, and if it did, it would go on and try 786 is likely. See, we've got that close. Would I move it again? Yeah, just hoping for another touch of bullish divergence on a subsequent low and see if you could get that entry. What does this mean? Any chance you can spend a few minutes on AHT? Please caught the tail end of the discussion yesterday. Frozen Puck, you certainly can do that. AHT. Frozen Puck. Or F Puck, as his friends know him. What? Yeah, certainly we can. Right, I'll do that shortly. Do like a little bit of that. It's up at 3.4% so far today. Right, so this is an okay area. It's not managed to make it above anything in particular. Harder time frames, it's gone to 50%. Here you can see it's not broken it above its previous breakdown. I would expect it to put in a lower low just looking at that. I can see on the charts it's had a touch of bullish divergence between these two lows. Maybe if you go up a 4 hour, what does it look like? Now you've broken below the center line here and you've lost your own moving average. You've crossed below 38 on your Rocky Outcrops DMI, and you're coming in for a second touch after the kiss there. Slightly lower high. It looks like distribution at that point. It does, you know, when you look left and all of these highs were lower than they were previously. That's enough, a lot more strength on the DMI represented by these moves with the DI plus so high, but that's because it's breaking previous highs. Like the violence you saw and it filled that gap, the retrace, and then of course you're going to, once, like I probably talked about at the time, that's an obvious M. And it's like 618, 618s. You know, you have to be wary of this coming in now. Like, that's a potential trade for somebody who was looking at this yesterday, and it certainly, like, helps encourage people to take profit when it was high. If somebody's telling you that it'll come back to here with that graphic example of a trade. But now that I'm looking at it, it's come that far, and I've missed out on it by 21 cents. And I'm like, plenty of you, right? I'm very contrarian, and I've got an massive, like fucking, I really like hate anything, like, you know, I hate loads of like, I really quite contrarian, right? So now, despite having this good trade on the go, I'm keeping an eye on it, and I would think about that, but at the same time, I'm looking at this 50 period below. You've got your 200 there, your stop is significantly beyond that on the 4-hour time frame. Enough that you would be safe from any wicks, you'd imagine, if you weren't trading it there and then. And like, that's a 24-to-1 trade, so I'll check and slack the MACD on in a second and see what I think about it. But I would be also looking at this and thinking, well, that 50 there, you know, and look at this, right? Does this look to you like it may well be coming in for a 1272 retracement? You know, does it? Look, you see the X to your A, right? Here's your X, here's your A. There's your B, there's your C. It does look like a, you could imagine that. If not, and it does stop here, then that's an excellent trade. So I'd keep that on, I'd keep that stop where it is, and then I'd also think about entering the same thing here. Slightly different risk reward, because you'd have to manage your risk using Fibonacci's. There is also a gap just below the 1414. Eek. So I'd be looking at it there too, and these are all areas where it could go crazy at. And bearing that in mind, you'd have to manage your entry, because you're going to maybe stop out on them, and if you're still determined to take this subsequently, then you're going to want to make sure that you add to that position appropriately. And it may well be that then you look for this to recover. Should it break its previous high at 1928, then you could add to your position. You could do it on a retest of a breakout zone. You could manage it that way. Whoops, pardon me. And that would be the way you'd have to trade this, right? It was like there's some extra stuff for you instead of just the TA, and it's not financial advice, and that's just what I would do, right? So don't get confused about anything else. And my camera's off again, isn't it, when I'm in the charts? Oh well, whatever. It gives me a chance to drink a cup of tea a wee bit. But that's disgustingly cold, right? So your 50 period moving average, there's your second entry. This, I was clear about this. The first one, your entry on it is $10.99, $11. The stop on that would be in at around $10.25. Perhaps you take it a little bit further to $9.94. Then your next entry at the minute comes in at around $8.30, down to $7.61. That's a big enough chunk at that area. It's a huge percentage. So you think about it yourself. Maybe you move it down and take it on a wick and hope that the body closes above the 50 period moving average on a 4-hour time frame. That's totally possible. Or else you're looking at the 1414 or the 1618, and depending on how price action performs at these two levels, that would give me some indication how far it was going here, and that would be testing the ultimate low on this area that it closed the gap on, came back, retested, and went on again, did everything else. And at that point, it was your RSI holding the center line that did it. Here you're below the center line. So does that mean that this first trade's off the target table? No, not yet. It's not completely confirmed. And then on the 1 hour, you're bouncing above the bearish control zone, so that's positive. And then on the 15 minutes, this is a good sign. You've got bullish divergence here. You've recovered your own moving average. You're above the bearish oversold zone. What bearish control zone? You've got, is that a flash? Or am I on extended hours? 11.20, 11.75 in post market down from 12, so a little bit of a continuation on that. Doji here, you look to have recovered this above the 200 and then test the 50 again. But this doji, when you reached it, suggests, like this one did, that perhaps price action is going to reverse from its preceding trend. That one was a up move. Doji 200 potentially pushes it down again. How far into this does it get? That's a tight stop loss. It's a 25 to 1 trade. It doesn't need to be. Other people would tell you that you could just, I mean, I've got entries down below and like I'm strict on myself, so I don't give a shit, if this, like just partly through my own self-discipline, would rather not hold this to here if I thought it was going here. I'd rather just get out of it and get in it again, right? The profit on the top side's the same, so you don't actually effectively lose money if you're taking the trade anyway. All you do is don't hold a loss for as long, so don't lose as much, and that's a good way to trade. But only if you're able to stick to your entries in here and that, and then it may not get there. It may float between your previous stop and your next entry, and then you have to lose out. So you'd have to be able to live with that as well. But that's what I'd be thinking. And I don't know, did I move that area there? But you could, a lot of people would move this, and they'd say, well, you don't need the 25 to 1. They take it right down to here, and you're still getting a 7.5 to 1, right? I only need 3 to 1, 5 to 1, and I'm making money. So that's like great. When I say I am, it's because of the MACD and the other indicators I'd use on top of that to make my edge work. Where is it here? Aye, right, I've got too many indicators on. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Well, volume can fuck off because it's nearly utterly useless. And then MACD can go on. No, I didn't delete it then, did I? I just hid it or something. No, I did delete it, but it doesn't like counting it. For some reason, it didn't want to count it. Ah, oh, you're such an assy thing. You turn off a VPVR and you're going to still say it, are you? I just want to check this. Right, thanks. Asshole. Right. Okay, you got bullish divergence on your MACD. 1, 2, 3 touches. Oh, Tradespotting does love 3 touches of divergence. Aye, good one. And your MACD's got doing positive there. In the 30 minutes, you're coming around. You might potentially have a cross. You're above the 200. This might already be your entry here then. This trade could be good. This could go again and test it again, or it could already be fine if you've got in again. Oh, I don't know. It's so close, but it's 21 cents off. And like I say, sometimes close enough is near enough, and near enough is good enough for me. But that didn't quite make it percentage wise. It's a little bit off. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at. But I wouldn't use that stop loss because no need. Something like that. That's what I do. And yes, so that's how I trade ATR the next wee while. That's if it's going up. It may well not go up. It may like go on down again. 1618, 1414, 1618. Cool. If this is some awful harmonic, which doesn't really fit at the minute, but if it did turn into one, which it could, then your next disaster zone, if it failed all these, I'd be not interested in this again. It would have demonstrated to me that it isn't doing what it looked like it was doing before, breaking back into a new trend, or breaking into a new trend. Love you. Happy with my ticker. Love you, PMG. He did a good one there with his ticker. Right, we'll look at that a second now because we've done ATR. Really, if it doesn't hold these levels, it's going down. 1618 retracement on this move. This thing keeps going. Is that kind of harmonic as a portrayed? And if you've got an equilibrium in here, some sort of harmonic equilibrium, great for a move. If it's not, then it's now way lower. And this has not done what it was doing before. Just check this quickly. What's this from here? What's this? I need to write words on my charts in future. What's this doing with the 50 and the 200 on the daily? You can't really see it. Here was your cross. Here was your test of the death cross. This was a death cross and it tested it. So, I mean, these are all for people who want to long this thing. You don't necessarily have to. A lot of people will be talking about shorting this. Oh yeah, remember for 3 months? Gaston, ding, yeah, Gaston, he's jacked. How you doing, Gaston? How you doing, BMG? Right, so there's your entries. There's the other thing. It may actually be fucked though. It's because it came down, put in this really good test that people are interested in it, and maybe it isn't actually. Like that's why I would be, but generally speaking, people are only interested in things because they've already done some huge move, and so like anyone. Not saying Jen or yourself, obviously, there, Paul, but like a lot of people will be talking about it and excited about it, and they can affect your psychology. And they've just heard about the thing, and you've did all the hard work already. So, bear that in mind. You don't want to give up much of what you've lost, what you've made. You don't want to lose much of what you've lost. You want to lose a lot of what you've made. It's nice to walk away with some profits. It's horrible when you walk away with like 30 or 40% off what you were at one point in the trade. So. Bear that in mind when you're thinking about re-entries. Oh, that's a very strong move. And there is potential harmonics on it that might make it look nice. I don't know, right? There's other ideas too, because this could form another bigger harmonic, right? That could be your XTRA, and there could be a B yet to come. GME is the only MOAS for buying a hodl. Buying a hodl and buying a hodl. You can't have mother of all short squeezes. Can't apply to two things, right? You can't, because then it would be the mother of all short squeezes. The mother of all short squeezes. Unless you're talking about it like it's an event and there'll be lots of these things, in which case I agree with you. It will be an event and there will be lots of them, but there's one of them will do better than others, and it's going to be GME. Everyone knows it is. It's not me. Like, I'm not saying only one will squeeze or one's better than the other, because you can make shitloads of money out of AMC. And if any of them squeeze, AMC will go too. It's obvious, and been saying it since the beginning. I keep saying it, but truth is GME will go more higher, because a lot of people in GME aren't, like, when Kajicho asked me, like, why'd you hold GME? It's like, that's like that's not the most common answer. That is the most common answer you get for GME for people who watch shows like this one, of which there's far fewer than there are shows about AMC. There's just far fewer of these than there are about AMC. There's shitloads about AMC. Not saying that it's not bad about it at all. Like, it really isn't. I hold AMC myself. It's just that like most of the people in it are in that to make money, which is nothing wrong with that. Obviously, that's why I do this. That's why I'm good at it, right? And it's why people choose to watch me talking about GME. It's not because I like it or my name it happens to sound similar. Those are true nice things, but it's because I'm good at this. Is why I have a real base of people who would tune in. We're on what now here? What did I just click on? AHT, did I? And this is an inverted head and shoulders with bullish divergence at the low. We're on the daily time frame. You've got a cross on your DI positive above your DI minus, coming in around a good level. See that? If your ADX can get a positive slope on it at the same time, that'd be very positive. Your MACD, again, there you've got a good sign here. Very divergent. How does that play out? Gaston, freaking Jack, do you already know, Jamie? I know, Gaston. I read your name earlier, and I was like, right, here we go. Have a little drink of coffee. GME is the only MOAS. Buying a hodl, buying a hodl and deadly hodling. Crystal Primate, how's it going, my friend? Rum. That's that cat doing a bong, if you haven't heard him before. He's high. Pajama. BMJ Cave be locked down tonight reviewing Harmonics. If anyone wants to join, hit me up by DM in Discord if you want to learn too. Excellent. You're doing a wee good one. Rocky and I were talking about when we do the final couple of chapters in the Harmonics course and sum everything up for everybody and do the bits, the hard bits. Like Scott left to do a couple of hard bits. So it'd be great if everybody had go scoot over the lessons, and just a few people better than Mama Jamma to learn with, I can tell you. So definitely shoot him up on Rocky Outcrop's Discord, and if you don't know where that is, then where have you been all this time? You can find more about Rocky Outcrop on his YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/RockyOutcrop. And you can find out more about both of us on moas.life. That's the entirety of the URL. Right, well, we're looking at AHT 1550. Feels like it's been sat here for a while. Was it not at 1550 yesterday when I looked at it? Wait a minute, it couldn't have been, could it? I can't remember. You had a day of no gap, no. That's not a problem. It was higher than its previous highs. You had to improve move on your RSI, which made it above the center line. That's positive. You had this little kiss, and it looks as though the DI plus has won that. Dropped down to 4 hour EHT. We've got the MACD on. I'll keep it on. I was convergently bearish. The MACD shows you that there's no real point considering this as part of what's going on now. On this 4 hour, as well as having broken above the center line on your daily, on the 4 hour, you've broken above the 50 period simple moving average. Positive, very positive sign on RSI. Completely nailed it in the DMI. Now you get an upturn on the ADX to go along with that, and you're fucking flying. And you've had a positive cross on the MACD in 4 hour, and you've got good momentum behind you that hasn't even stalled yet. On the 1 hour, perhaps you've got a touch of divergence across your MACD and a weakness in the DMI, but at the same time you've done well on the RSI and put in a higher high and not been divergent, so that's positive. 1474 looks then to be a good area for a re-entry should it be coming down, with 618 being in that area as well. Oof, that's tasty. That looks like it would be where it would go. If it doesn't, then it's going to push up like to 1589. See how it touches there. I'd imagine on this type of picture on these 4 hour, it would tend to stall for a second, and then you'd have to look for other re-entries. But at the minute, that's 1474. 30 minutes, 200 period moving average coming in exactly that point, the bottom of that golden pocket. RSI has slightly dripped. No, that's the DMI. That's will likely fail. Drop back down. You see the center line, which is a likely first place for it to test, which would be its own support and resistance from this formation. Looking left, there's two places that could come in where it already did bounce from, and then top of that golden pocket again. It's a very attractive area. You know, maybe you don't get quite into it. Maybe you do on a wick though. There it starts at 1788. If we're being really, really close to it, that's 1488. Pardon me, 1488. So it's that, and then booking down back into the 15 minutes. You've had this positive cross between the 50 and the 200, so likely that is tested. You've got this not so very positive sign when it's at its own moving average, though it did well at the center line, and at the same time your ADX came below 38, so there's the first sign of weakness in this trend on the DMI. I'd expect a retest of some sort of level, unless it just explodes, and here's that area there. Like you can see as well from this, the distinct nature of price action above and below this line. That line likely is tested as these moving averages diverge. GME, what you thinking on EVGO? Poor COVID calls, baby. Poor COVID. Poor covered calls. Poor covered calls, baby. Says Capricornic. Poor covered calls. Poor people covered calls. Poor. Vic Mints for every 5 months. Breaking into heaven with my favorite gang. Let us in. Let me write that down. I'll get round to it in a second. Cup of chronic. What was it again? It was the obvious one. EVGO. Yes. Fuck. EVGO. Good move coming up on EVGO. By the way, EVGO, Kappa chronic. What have I done so far? I've done Gen. Sweet. Did one. That was awesome. What am I doing now? AHT. That wasn't on my list. Damn it. AHT. For the BMG. And anyone else. It wasn't though. It was it Bloodshot or who was it? Asked me about it at the time. Anyway, other people love it too because it's fucking excellent. AHT. This is a very strong move. Price action destroying 200 went through it. This is likely some sort of test. Yeah, that area would be good. 618 retrace. I haven't got back up to the 886. That's a very strong move. 618 onwards, that'd be good. A third of a third, and then a third. Well, that's the way it worked in that oscillation. Likely next step on that 1684, 1726. That's where I'm looking for this to go. You know, Well, like, if you take the x-axis off it or whatever, I would tell you, like, no bother, eh? Like, it's not financial advice in that, and blah, 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 but it's going to $18. Like, and then, and it's not financial advice, like, and you know, if things go up and down, fuck it, right? I'm not in control of it, so, you know. But yeah, $18, that's what I think. And then, that's nothing, because, like, there's some crazy-ass moves on this thing, right? That's just for, like, you know, take some of your own money off the table and you're fine, sort of take profits. That's what I say. Then there's this fucking glaringly obvious gap, which is also a 618 retrace of this whole move, which you only need to get to the 236 to say that that's on. 236 comes in at around that $18 level. So, like, doing the one thing sets you up for the next one, and the next one's fucking massive. That's a 100% move. And that's just that part of the move, right? You fill that gap and this thing turns around, which it may well do, right? Like, the reasons that this was doing badly were fundamental, and those fundamental reasons have completely changed, right? So, like, there's, like, I don't see this going down anywhere near its lows, its previous lows, which is what you're, from an investor standpoint, you're like, well, what, are we closer to a high or a low? And you want to be closer to a low. And then you are, well, are we going to go back there? Like, you'd rather not. You'd rather it's now trying for the upside. And that's, like, enough for a lot of people that don't want to trade and they just want to hold something for a period of time and then get out without, like, thinking about it all the time. This is one of those things, because if it makes 18, it'll start doing 35. And if it makes 35, you don't even want to fucking know, right? $77 is start screaming. And if it gets anywhere near there in a fast pace of time with velocity, you know, I mean, that's a 15-minute chart because of the nature of the way it broke down. It could go crazy. There's other moves on this here that are, again, just like, once they happen, people will be like, well, that was obvious. But nobody will have said it at the time, apart from, like, BMJ and a couple of people around here. And it's like, you could come up here, not even break structure, put in a lower high and be $130. Hey, and it could do that in, like, 3 weeks or something. Not from now. I mean, it could go, like, all that range easily peasily. So it's got a chance, but it's all about choosing your entry and being smart with things, innit? That's the way it is. What else did we do? We did AMC, we did GME. Did we do AMC? I'm pretty sure we did AMC. If it didn't, tell me. ATER, AHT. Oh, I did have that written down. It was for Frozen Puck. I did have AHT written down. Silly Jamie. Silly Billy. Great. Helping people. Great. What else? What did ATR keep going down? Did it in this aftermarket? No, 1177. It's not moved much. Right. What was the other one? Hurry up, Jimmy. Right. Is it on here? Yes. Good. Up 8.63%. Not bad. That's up to its 50 period moving average. Most recently put in a new lower low. That bounced on earnings. People were expecting it to be shit. What's that mean? That means the cat is getting high again. Where are you, cat? Pajama. Let's freaking go! Let's freaking go. Pajama Jamma. Mama Jamma's going to be learning tonight. Get catch up with Mama Jamma and the Harmonics on the Discord. His name's Bad Mama Jamma on there too. So you got your 490 bounce. You're at nearly 100% move off this already. Well, 470 something. 755. It's not to be sniffed at. Is there a gap? Yeah. Does it get filled? Well, it could be one of them ones, you know. Could be one of them ones that don't actually get filled. Daily time frame, that's a real gap. Above you, 819 is your resistance just now with a 200 period moving average and breakdown area of this. Let's just move that down actually, because strictly speaking, it's more like there. Which is also confluent on the left here. Okay, of course it is. And this breakdown from this move, that's what started it all here. This is a new lows. This will have been the divergence we were seeing. Yes. Such a big class B divergence here. Positive signs on the DMI at the same time. And yep, divergence throughout this move on the MACD. Pigget, no one knows what it means, but it's provocative. It gets the apes going. Gets the yips going. What did it say, Matt's boys? What are we talking about? Is no one going to say it? Is no one going to say it? It's already reminding me of Scottish things. So, ride. The daily move, very good. Took it above your previous area. That was it. That's where it needed to get above on this. Obviously, like you can see, the body closes here. Wicks subsequently. This body closed after the drop down. All these wicks, even though we got up here, gapped up and then had this huge wick, the body still closed below it, and then a subsequent wick did. One move beyond it and back. That move wasn't divergence and accumulated again. RSI at the center line. So this was like, if you were looking at it then, this was stick on obvious move, and that would have taken you from what 657 to 741. It's like, considering how obvious that move was, right? That move, that sort of percentage off the back of it, like that pays, I don't remember, like at the end of the days, at the end of the month and that, when I'm like jotting things down and working out whatever, that sort of thing that I'm like, yes, this is like, I can rely on this, because when you first start doing this, you don't know what you can rely on or not. That's a big fucking part of it. And that, so when you see things, it's just like, thank God, like thank God there are things like this as well, because some things, like I really need to pay a bill or whatever, it's good if that happens. Rather than adding worry to worry. Like it's just like stress-free trading. That's what I'm trying to say. This sort of thing. Through resistance, which is defined by this previous low, and you've got your subsequent massive hammer dildo there and your 50 period moving average and your 200 up there. Yeah, but you could easily go to this 50 at that point. You would have thought so. You would have had your trade open for it up at $8 and change. Let's see if that happens. If it doesn't, it's because it can't make it into the bullish control zone. It failed the last time it got up there. So it might happen again, in which case, maybe you take profits sooner, but could be a better thing on the go with this, like if it does recapture that. Let's see what's going on in other time frames. Anyway, 4 hour, you hold the 50 period moving average, coming close gain for the 200, that's positive. And it's done it quick. There was a head and shoulders, brought you down, new low. Bullish divergence. Yeah, it does look like it wants to test $8 at that point. I would be very weary of it. It's a different trade at that point. Truth seeker. So if it opens and closes above that 200 on the daily time frame, I think, oh, that's great, but actually your horizontal resistance above here is then going to be relevant. Might take you down again. And you've got a number of them you'd need to break through along the way. I suspect that would be a 618 or something of this move here. 0.5, is that it? Aye, why would you get that on that much? That's not enough, is it? It is enough. Drift Seeker, I don't know if you're watching this live. He asked me about this before I went live, if I could look at it, and so here I am looking at it, and shout out if you're watching along later, or if you're here. If you got in it there, that was a great entry. It was the first instance you've ever seen bullish divergence on this thing, in the context of this downtrend. You do want to see it above the 236, which it hasn't yet done. Certainly not open and closed. 742, 744, that sort of area. You want to see it open and close in 4 hours above there. Open and then subsequent close and then open again. 1 hour. Oops. RSI slightly divergent. Come back and see how that goes. DMI is exactly the same as it, so I discard that previous divergence and say it's burning it off at the minute. Might try again, then get that 8, and then it would be gone. Your flash work Outcrop's DMI flash. You've already got that from 650 back up to 722. It's the same from better percentage move. So what I'm thinking about this is likely tries 8, and then let's see it accumulate 690 something, and you go for it again. If not, and it opens and closes on higher time frames like the 4 hour above this 200 period moving average, then you've got a move from 830 up to $10, which is also a nice wee back move. And then, you know, I could leave something on the table and take it off at a 0.5, which would be up at 1185, that sort of area. Maybe even $12 and change. I'd have lots of profit taken by that stage, and stop loss in profit following it up if I was doing that. But your entry in that case is like a retest of this breakout zone. Whether that's 1169 happened already or not, I'm not sure. But if you're already in, right, and you got in at these low levels and you're hoping for a break of that 200, you'll actually go push towards the 0.5. I mean, obviously there's areas before that, but that's where I'll be aiming. It might get above that, it might get up to 1639. At that point, you'd be putting in a test of this previous resistance here. Would that happen? I don't know. Keeping my eyes before then on 11 and 12. I'll come back to that and see what it does when it gets there, if and when that ever happens. That. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. What time is it? 10 o'clock. Okay. What was that one saying? Don't see that one. Where is it? Hazel Lies. Whoa, huge donation. While you are pursuing your dream of educating the world and changing our lives, and changing lives, I want you to stop and realize that your dream is an exponentially growing reality. You have been changing lives the whole time. Thanks, Hazelwise. That's really nice. Chats. Hey, good. Glad my camera's off, not on the screen, because then I'm not crying on the stream all the time. Thank you very much, Hazelwise. That's nice to see that. Well, I hope it's true. So hope it's true. I feel like it's true. Hope it's true. Definitely hope it's true. Right. So thank you very much, my friend Jace. It's hard to think that when you're, you get the moments where you're like, yeah, and you see the messages and that, but you don't necessarily carry the feeling with you. So that's nice to read. Thanks. Bing. Thank you very much, Hazelwise. Nice one. Right. Where was I? What was I doing? I did ride. Great, I did this now. And then, so I'd likely have done it again if I didn't catch myself there. What's the next one? Somebody wanted to look at SPRT just to remind them not to hold a company through... there you go. There's SPRT. There's a reminder not to hold a company through acquisition. Look at Ricey, HYBT, TRC, Torchlight. You can look at all those things. Get similar feelings. ATER was at the bottom of its channel. We said likely it comes up to the top of it. First off, we drew this channel on here so that people would know what it was and that it wasn't a wedge, and that if it was, likely where it would go to, and even if it was, like what it would do. And here we are at the top, touching that resistance on that line we drew on. That's kind of incredible. 2.27777. That's incredible that I got that call. That's incredible, by the way, to 3 decimal places. That's fucked up. That's fucked up shit. Right, so but I got to go on to one that someone asked for. CRSP, let's do that one first. No, let's do a quicker one. EVGO, where is it? Where are you? Oh, look at that. What is that? 999, thank you very much. Appealing warranties. We've been trying to reach you by the extent. That's so funny. Like, it's so funny. I kind of have a chuckle because, different communities online have funny things like Trey's Subway Cup and Jackson's Hunter's Beard and that, but Jesus Christ, the fucking extended warranty on the banana fridge is so good. All the banana free stuff is just so good because it's as well as being like surrealist and hilarious and that and an in joke and that. It's also like postmodern of such very recently modern times. I don't know why is it so funny. I can't remember, but me and the salamander laugh about it all the time when I'm taking her for a walk. Well, it's a him, but I call it. I don't know why I say that her, but it's because of the way it looks at me. What we've been trying to reach you. Well, don't give up. It is possible. I'm a bot and I missed AMCT, or has it not been done yet? I can come back. You're not a bot. I'll do some more AMC at the end if you like. Catch up on that. I've got to do something else now though. I've got to do either done that one. I've got to do EVGO. That's all. I'm already on it as well. I talked about this, and there's your two moves that are potentially coming up on this one. There's a mini one that's like just to give you a wee taste of it. Pardon me. Excuse me for 1 second. Right. Let's make it big screen again. Talk about this formation. Price action is coming in. It's put in a lower low on this. The reason it put in a lower low is because of the chart, right? Because the actual fundamentals of this company are fantastic. And their orientation with regards to their overall strategy, which I happen to know a little bit more about than most other people who would only know this chart, and I can't go into say any more about that, but it looks like it's going to do something very good very soon in real life as opposed to on the chart, which will also be reflected and already is, because this is actually screaming huge opportunity, right? You're in this downward sloping wedge. This is a bullish accumulation pattern, along with the fact that it leads to huge moves. This move, looks like very extended and all the rest of it, but if I get this and drag it over here for people who didn't see what I was doing yesterday with this, it's only this right here is touched from the bottom to the top side of the wedge. That's how you do the measured move out of this thing. It came through that pattern, reached the top side of it. People would have got excited, and it went up to $9.51, and they'll have been devastated to see it down at $7.56. But that's just the nature of how prices do when they're doing a move this violent out of a pattern like this. They'll break out the top side. It's an absolute fake out. It comes back down. People start crying, getting upset, but it never actually makes it back into this territory, right? Now, I know that's going left and prices can't do that, but it's defined by this demand line, previously supply line, that it never breaks below again. And although there's a diagonal slope on that, we're on the 4 hours and it persists over a number of them, right? It's real on the weekly too. The measured move on this takes you to Fibonacci sequences on the way, Fibonacci levels on this sequence that's put in on our way down here, which was a retracement against this initial move up, and this we're taking it right down to the 1414 here, the 1272 here. This is a really good zone for entering trades. You've made it in already once. You've broken out of this wedge. You've got a potential short-term move that will take you up to the 975 area. It's your previous resistance, and you'd expect to test that, having put in what is like a touch of bullish divergence on these lows. Move it back across here. A significant one on this time frame, and then you've had a positive cross in your DMI on this. And that's a 4 hour. You've got a positive cross on your MACD. Price has made it out of the wedge and they've started this move up. This is your first level of horizontal resistance. Expect it to be broken. Next levels where your 50 period moving average comes in on the 4 hour at 868. Then above that, you're 200 at 11. And that's like a big percentage move by the time you get up there. You go down an hourly time frame, look at EVGO, and you can see above that 50 gapped up. Tiny gap there. It's at 822 to 828. So perhaps that leads you to prices coming back to that area, and you get this trade now that was here. We could say, well, now it's like a retest of that 50. And then stop loss still being there. You could just take that up to this previous low here and say then they've got another new trade on. That one, 2.5 to 1. That's not enough if you ask me. So I wouldn't necessarily take it. If I was, it would be with stop loss and very strict, following it up as soon as it got into profit, and then maybe you'd get that on it. It'd be a 5 to 1. That would be a proper extension of that move. It doesn't necessarily happen before this turns into a proper retest of this. You know, these patterns often resolve after a retest, then do the full measured move. And I mean the full measured move, which would take it up to $12 and change, which would only be the start of it moving out of this formation. It would have been an accumulation formation. You'd be looking for it to then test its overall supply areas, which are around $15-16. That's where this downward sloping line's coming in at. Expect to face some resistance there. If you break above it, you're looking to get above 19.52 and $20 in order to break the all subs later on. You don't care about your all-time high at that point. If you did that, having only ever been in this weird trend, if you got to that area, you would just smash that all-time high on its first go. And where would the entry for that trade might come in on this bigger long suggested that I would like on my trades. It's not financial advice for anybody. This is what I would really like in an entry on that 687. Whether you get it or not, it's kind of asking for a lot, having seen this positive move and the bullish divergence that came with it. It's just like these so very commonly see retests, so that's why I'd be looking to it. And in the meantime, if you are in it, it's like may or may not be, then you get a little bit of a move here. You can take profit on that and follow it strictly with stop loss, and then move it to profit targets at those orange lines, and the top one of them being at $11.90. If it gets there, fantastic, but most of it will be gone off mine by 9.72 more. And then with this one, you've got a stop loss inside the bottom of this pattern too, which is like the benefit of this entry, is that you've got predictive areas to put in stop losses, and like with a 7-to-1 plus on that, you know, that keeps you safe. And the truth is 7-to-1 risk reward doesn't really describe how good that trade could be if it does go in your favor. It does talk about very, very good risk reward though. So yes, EVGO looking good. Lots of good news coming out about it. Let's go through it and do more of what I was thinking I would do for other things. Like weekly, it's in a downtrend. Top side of this at 11.92 could be tested and you wouldn't break structure, so you'd be looking for reasons that it might try there. That's what you'd be looking at from the weekly. In 3 days, not getting enough off it, like you haven't already got off there. 2 day, similar picture. It's in a downtrend. That divergence isn't there on these time frames. Down to the daily. Again, not really divergent on most of it, but you can see it is on the MACD, especially these last moves. And that's the way it goes. And you'll only get your divergence is only on the momentum rather than on any thrust in particular. And so you see this like creep back down to previous demand lines and retesting them. So that's what I'm thinking about for a slightly bigger position should it get there, personally. And then 4 hour, slightly higher. It's class B, possibly bullish, but not strong. You've got bullishness in this of gain. You've got higher high in your indicator, but you're in a downtrend, so you'd need this to keep going or else it would be bearish itself as well. Staying above the center line on any turn down on the RSI would be important, and it could well do that and then go on test its bullish control zone. If it does that and it's close to the 50, it'll go straight through the 50 on its way to the bullish control zone. If it gets into the overbought area, pushes up above that, then you'll get these trades. You'll get this trade certainly, and I don't know, bigger one. Let's see about that later on. So that's the EVGO on that side of things. Maybe I could have done that better now. I'm feeling myself getting tired. Okay, for these ones, CRSP. CRISPR. These are the people that cut out the genetic code. Health technology. CRISPR. That's that way of CRSP. That's that way, isn't it, of snipping, modifying DNA. Is that correct? Who knows, right? Well, anyway, CRSP, if they've taken the same thing for the ticker, it's funny. You've got a death cross there. It's not a daily. Let's go on to the daily. You had a death cross. You tested that significantly and failed, dropped down below the 50 period moving average. You've got flashes all over the shop on your DMI there. here. Is that closed? Don't know. You've got another one. Ugh. It's gonna make a move. So it's lost the trend on the 50-day moving on the. It's lost the 50 period, so it's lost the trend on the 3-day. You can also see it's persisting below the center line on the RSI, and that trend is the weakness of it is represented by this flash on DMI. It's really fucking low strength to that previous uptrend, which then itself became very confused. And below the 50, it's not great, not really strong. I'd like to see it test the significant support levels on price now and do well, which would be in at around $109. But I don't think it's going to do well at that level. Your 200 comes in at this previous low. That might be bullishly divergent. Should it get there from this area on your RSI? I'd be looking to that area. Anywhere around this low, which is also where your 200 is. And then if it does break below 77, then it's fucking fucked. Don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. It's not screaming that yet. So yeah, that's what I would expect to see with that. We haven't looked at that. Let's look some more. Down to the 2-day. Very confused picture there. Perhaps touch of bullishness divergence on this little flick here, and that'll take you back to 135.91, perhaps 132 anyway. Call it 132, and then negative cross. Prices above the 200 at the time though. Daily below the 50, below the 200. You've had a negative cross, because it was a death cross. At the same time, RSI below the center, can't make it above it. DMI says it's fucked. 4 hour. Managed to make it above the center line. Doesn't really go up here for very long when it's down below significant levels. 50 itself is crossing down below the 200 and would test that cross, and this might be all that is. It's not very strong. Had your volatility flash. Just testing this area again. And your 200 period moving average comes in at around the top of that previous candle, so perhaps that's where it is when it goes back to there. 125 and doesn't make it any further. 130 would be big for it to do. Much more likely it comes back down. A huge chunk back down. If 1 hour. Weak. Uptrend's winning that. But it's touching, it's like this is coming in for meeting resistance as the RSI is meeting resistance, as your ADX is about to meet resistance, and MACD in of itself is actually doing okay, but nowhere near as close as it would have to be to do this other high. So again, it would be divergent if it got close there on price action. And so this doesn't seem very strong. 30 minutes, and aye, nice one. That's like not bad. That's good. You've made it above the 200. You'd have to stay there, and then your signals, like a couple of signals on this, are valid, and it'll go on again. Yeah, needs to hold that though. That would be the level. Horizontal to $120. I like it. If it can stay above $120, it's got a chance. 125, 129. Then I don't know if I like it anymore. To say actually at that point, I don't know if I like it anymore. Kick it out of bed at that point, probably. What was that one? CRSP. Have I gone through all the timelines on it? Really, I haven't. I don't know. You got 15 minutes. It's made it into the overbought zone. That's good. It's made it above that resistance. It's made it DMI's done well. The DA plus has. The ADX has also made it through. That's good. This was a good cross here. That was a good one to trade. Bing, higher high. That was obvious. Then another one. 1, 2, 3, bing. He probably goes to 124.47, and then above that, I'm not sure. Wouldn't be looking at holding it anymore. Letting see it go on itself and do shit. Like, I'm not above here. I'd take all my profit and may well enter a different trade if it makes it above 129 and comes back again and doesn't look negative at the time. Then I might do it, or maybe I'd take that trade somewhere else. But like, I'd take my profit here. And I wouldn't look at trading it again long until it had seen it broke this level, or it'd come down to previous levels that we'd been at before. That's what I think about this thing. CRSPR. It's good, yeah, cool. So I like it, but we'll see. Tradespotting. Thank you for the tea you did on SAVA yesterday. You're welcome. The dude intent. You were spot on with your predictions. Could you say perhaps do another bit of tea on SAVA, my lord, if you have the time? SAVA, jeepers my creepers. I don't really, but I'll have a look at it. SAVA. D-dude intent. D-dude intent. What one was that we just did? CRSPR. Oh, I was just about finished. I was on to my last one on NAK. No, we'll do NAK and then we gotcha. NAK. Northern, oh my god, Northern Dynasty Minerals. Northern Dynasty Minerals. NAC. I mean, okay, your name sounds stupid, right? Northern Dynasty Minerals makes me feel like setting your company on fire, eh? Like, why are you calling it Northern Dynasty? Why are you doing that? Like, not that they give a shit what I think, but why are you doing that? I hate that. I think that that's a stupid ass name. And then your ticker, is there some reason you've chosen that? Because it sounds stupid. Sounds fucking stupid. So these are my initial thoughts on it. And it's like, look, we live in meme culture nowadays. I can fucking hate on you because your ticker all I fucking feel like. In case you didn't realize, I'm Tradespotting. Right, so this is done all right on the 15-minute, catching the RSI, catching the center line at the same time your DMI caught the 38 while the fucking ADX was going through. This was like, oh my goodness, this is textbook buying this thing. Despite how stupid it might sound. Excellent buy that. That's buy. And then you got that excellent buy at the same time. And you had that on the MACD. Fucking hell. Fucking heck, mate. That was a very good, obvious boom there. Wow, eh? Bloody heck. Testing previous support too, so obviously very well. Resistance, turn support, broke it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once, twice, 3, 4. You know, at that point nearly would have gap scare people. Gap. Ha, gotcha. Gap. Got ya. Boom. Let's do it from proper TA, right? Yeah, proper TA. Stop being funny. You got their 50 testing your 200. The weakest there. You've also got your. Getting ahead of yourself. You don't have one. You've just done that to me. 50 is touching your 200. You had this attempted positive cross because of this price action, but it was too weak. This is a lower high, but you're perhaps in an uptrend. It's not clear yet. These are higher lows than back here, but they're all lower than each other, and this high is lower than here. And, you know, contextually, you're coming from a downtrend. It's just this previous low was bullish. And a failure to make a higher high, and then you've gone and made a lower low than that previous low. And it was convergent on RSI, and then a higher low on price and a higher low on RSI as it accumulated above the bearish control zone. Okay, that's not very strong, but then it broke through the center line. Then the 200 is going to cross down below the 50, causing you're having a positive cross, which is like the least positive way of having that positive cross. So I'd be wary of it here for that reason. But this is a weekly time frame, and that's not how you use that. You get the same thing though on 3D. I was just about to say it doesn't matter, but it does matter a little bit. Now you're on the 2D, you've already had your cross, you had your test, it happened. You're below the 50, that's a wick above it. Nope, it's a body open, and then there'll be a close, right? So tomorrow, if in tomorrow's opening range, this sticks above 5,567. Which it won't do because it's already... No, it will because that's 5.6. It may well do. 5,560, call it. Then it might have captured that 50 properly, and we'll see it for the rest of the day. It'll go up to 0.75, likely. Holy shit, I can see why you like trading this now. I just said that. Wait a minute, mate. Fucking hell. This thing could go mental. Fucking hell, look. This thing could go mental. What is this thing? Why has it got such a stupid name? No one's going to know about it because it's got a stupid name and a stupid NAF ticker. Whoa, this could go mental. Right, let's check it out more. I've done all that. Daily. Come on. Give us something to get excited about. DI plus touched 38. Your ADX is up there. Your DI minus is fucked. Usually it turns around at this point. So if it doesn't, that's very significant. You've made it up into the bullish control zone. You've come back, tested the center line, gone on again. Held your own moving average like a champ at this point. Back into the bullish control zone. I mean, you can, you know, you don't, like, this thing doesn't normally jump into it second time and not go on higher. Like, second time higher, I suppose that never came out of it really, so that doesn't count. You know, second time higher, third time higher. This time, the second time it did come out, tested the center line. This will test higher again. In which case, you wonder, you know, is the trade, if you're in it at the minute, you're looking for it to get to 7,895, which is a fucking huge percentage move. That's what you're looking for it to do if you're in it already. If you're not, then maybe you move your stop to 5. If you're not in it, then you could put an entry in at around 556 and a stop like below 552. No, I put it in actually like... Let's go down a little bit so I can't do trades. I've only looked at these time lanes. Come on, Jamie, be silly. Stop being silly. Jeez, I am tired. There's a center line again on RSI, and there's your caption that through there. Maybe I should just have my... I almost certainly should have had my camera on during the charting part of this, though I wonder, you know, if it makes a difference to what people think. You've got your 5984, 5984, 56 post market, 5434, 350, and your 4767. What's that mean? Blank Tradespotting. Lots of people are talking about NAC on Twitter. Okay, I see. Then you displeased the gods. Who displeased the gods? The ghost of Curran Roberts past Roniger's sacrifices. There's another Robert Curran that popped up in chat. And another one. Oh my goodness, they're everywhere. They're mating like rabbits. This is why we displeased. What did we do? Shit, I'm sorry, gods. Did you do ASYS or whichever you were asking Rocky to look at before YouTube halted us? I was asking Rocky to look at... Can't remember, man. Can't remember. I don't know. I've done ATER, RIDE, RIDE, GME, AMC, CRSP, AHT, EVGO, AHT, that was that, I wrote that down twice. And then NAK. At the minute, it could go massive. It could go massive. Jamie, look, let's see, right, this high up here from where it was really high down to that low, and then you've recovered your 236. This is very positive. It could go up to 1.148. Your entry on it is kind of already happened. If you're in it already, great. If not, you have to hope that it didn't persist in here, because then it's just going to keep riding and you're not going to get a good entry. You're above the 38. Oh, and your DS minus is historically low levels. Usually it does turn around at this point and test something. I'd be looking for a test of the 200 and the 36. Might not get there, so go horizontally left, put my entry in. That'd be my entry. And I don't know where you want to put a stop in on this. I'd take it from 4.4 probably. I don't know if you're going to get this. But like there it is. Stop, below the 200, below that sort of resistance. There's your entry more or less. And on this, you're looking for it to go up to 1.1, 1.1 and change. Pardon me. Stop moving around. Just to be accurate, would you? Okay. And that's the 6.56 trade to 5 to 1 trade. That's not bad. That's quite good, actually. That's not what's exciting about this thing, though. 4 hour, that's good. Positive cross on the 50, 200. Come back to here, not all that unheard of. Especially with this turning around, that not made it yet. This equal high here and this likely to turn around, some sort of test at that point. Maybe it comes as low as 236. That would be good entry on this, likely. Unless it's completely screwed, because 15 minutes, shares, okay, divergent, and that might see the start of this little thing. Maybe it only comes back to the overbought zone, in which case you might not get it. Like, I wouldn't take it here, because it just don't suit me. But 5.720 might be the entry for a lot of people that are desperate to get in on this, and then you'd be taking profits at 7.8 already, and then on up again. But that's golden pockets. Where 1.11? Why did I not have an orange line there? I thought I did. Anyway, that's what you're looking at on this knack. Could go, and it could go fucking mental. Like this, look at this daily time frame here. You know, naturally it oscillates between those lines that I've put those in, and just even going back to previous market structure highs, you're looking at 3.14, and that's nothing like the successful moves off these things here. Like this, I would think if this breaks above the 618 and you get this whole trade, it looks good, goes beyond and retest it, then I'd take this again, and I'd take it up to 6.12 probably, with profit targets along the way at previous horizontal support and resistance. But that's where I'd look at. I'd look for a retrace first, and that depend how cheeky and wide it was. I would wait for a big one. So that, though it does look great, but I'd have to wait and see, because, you know, just because people on Twitter are talking about it doesn't mean much. I've met these people on Twitter. 14.93 up on SAVA. So it did keep going. Congratulations, SAVA. Nice. Fucking hell. That's a bullish engulfing. Get the fuck out of my garden. It's going up to fill this gap. It's going to go to 66. That's 10%. It's got this measured move that I've drawn off this inverted head and shoulders, which puts in the right shoulder, which it fucking did. Because, oh my god, like up at $71 as well. That's then 20%. You're talking 20% move on this thing. It'll get you to the 50 period moving average. If you then get there, or it might even gap to that fucking, no, it won't. Might. If it opens and closes off there afterwards, and that, well, brilliant. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Sava's going good. You just had a positive cross on the daily time frame on your MACD. You've got your Rick and Morty lips with and nearly guaranteed. No, you can't say that. Well, if this AD, the DI plus crosses above the DI minus in this zone, and your ADX turn up, and your DI plus and your ADX both reach above 38, while the RSI is reaching and then confirming above the center line, as this thing pushes to the 50 period moving average, it's going to fucking go mental. It's going to go up even more. It's going to go back to its previous all-time highs and then beyond them to $181. And it's currently at $60, so that's 300% move. There may be other things in the meantime, but that's what it looks like it's going to do. That was a really good recovery. This is cool. If this is a bullish engulfing candle on daily time frame. That's like fuck off. That's what that says. Fuck off. What's that? 4-hour doji at the top of the move, just below this body close. Yes. But you've got like positive sign on your RSI, and you've got positive move in your DMI, and you've still got this positive momentum on the MACD. That's not a real doji. It is a real doji though. but it's not stretched above the top of this one. It's not like hangman style. It's not quite. But you know what people are like with dojis, Jimmy? I do. Does that mean that that's the full move happened? You haven't rely on. I don't know, like that's like a 236 there. It's above it, you know. Could have done a doji below it. I don't know. Right, I'm interested in seeing how it goes. If this can maintain itself above 59, fucking amazing. If it's above 57.74, then it could just ditch that idea of a doji being bad, put in a body close or wick low here, and then go on up again. And I'll see it $71. That's what it'll do. See it 74. That'll probably be, you know, the gap fill's coming on that then at that point. Plus some according to this. What percentage is that? That's a 27-1. Back off. Anyway, asking for too much on some of these things. That's a really good move. I'd keep an eye on these levels. If it dropped below them, then I'd do some other thoughts and go back down through the timelines and see where it comes in again, because it's got bullish written all over it. I'm dropping out of the bullish control zone there. Does that mean you get that test 57.74 and then boost off again? Maybe. Let's see. Looks good. What did we get to then? That's the charts all look good down there. What else are we going to do? Somebody asked if we'd done AMC yet. Boing. $10, Gaston. Okay, now young ape is off to work. Jacked. Good work, young ape. Gaston, you are a hard worker. And you're an enthusiastic bloke. And you know how to enjoy life. And I hope you're taking care of yourself. You fucking deserve it, Gaston. You're a legend. You're a nice guy. Everybody knows you now. Everybody likes it too. Fucking fuck yeah. Gaston Jackson, as he's known around these parts. I'm so full confused. I am so confused. You people forget how blonde I am. I can't keep these people straight. Jen Campbell, what are you talking about? You're blonde, but you're very, very good at what you do. What are you talking about, Jen, you silly Billy? We all know that you're just being modest. We know it. What people straight? You can't keep people straight. What are we talking about? This is not possible in any sense. Yay, have a good day, Gaston. Next one, Katie Babes. Totally. Have a good one, Gaston. Later, Gaston. Kitty Babes ghost. Kitty Babes. That's not what we discussed last night. Kitty Babes, you've got a ghostess in chat. That's after you. Juro Jerp. Oh my goodness, I've got incredible heartburn at the minute. Wait for 2 seconds till I recover. I can see here on this time frame AMC is being tracing the 50 period moving average down 15 minutes. It's normal to do that sort of thing if it's put in some sort of highish top, right? High area, tested its top, has done that. Come back, test this area. That's not bad at all. That's very much like it does do when it's putting in the breakout of a wedge sort of thing, which is what it has done here too, isn't it? Let's just see that if this is what it is. Don't know. Not really. It's got your W and whatnot. I don't need to do all the rest of that stuff on it. Bing, bing, bing. Had your RSI move like that. That's good. And I don't mind that on the DMI yet, though it's not perfect. Right. Flippin' heck, Jimmy. None of the schedule stream stuff ever bloody works, and it's very rare that I even get the Busy Apes thing working. But we can try it. We can try it. So I hit, what do I hit? First off I hit this. And then I hit Hi, welcome back. As you can see, breaking news. Back to the Busy Ape series, which I'm trying. It might not happen. I'm trying. Technical difficulties today. As all days, as is tradition, we start with AMC. So let's get into charge. AMC. 50-minute time frame. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoops. Whoops. And then let's stick this on auto because I'm not seeing enough of this round. You're going to downtrend. You captured the 50 period moving average on this little flick up. You've had a touch of bullish divergence on the lows. That's what took you here. If you can maintain that 50, you'll then start aiming for the 200. It's at 43.01. That's what you're looking to get to in this move is 43.01. And then above that, test this previous upwards looking demand line, which now may form some form of resistance. It's at 45.36, 44.77, and around those lines, those areas is where you'll find those resistances. Prices, since they've put in this above the 50, they've come back and they've sat above it while the RSI is retraced below the center line and then all the way down as far as the bearish control zones. That's not positive in itself, but to see the prices maintain a 50 period moving average on that 15-minute time frame at that time is not terrible. They could have a better slope and splay though themselves. On the 30-minute, you can see you had a positive cross in your MACD. That's being undone here. You were below your 200 period moving average when it happens, so you're going to get up to previous horizontals or that 200. It comes in at around that 45 level, so may well still happen. And your RSI though has also dropped below the center line on that time frame. Your DMI says the DI plus is in ascendancy, and like I say, that a little bit of a divergence on your momentum indicator at that point, if not on the RSI. So some sort of retest of these levels below us may be happening. If that's not the case, which it may well not be, I mean, there's a gap up there. It could go up and fill as well if it was on the way up. If that doesn't happen right now, then you're looking back at the 37 change to see where your entry comes in at. You've also got a golden pocket retrace down at around 35, 36, 66, down to 36. That sort of area, 35.86, that might be where your next good entry comes in if you have the money and you're chucking it in the way a lot of people are. And then below that 33 is your previous area of support. It might happen and get there if this RSI does come all the way back to where it was previously and put in some sort of W bottom on it, and that would be a reversal pattern on your indicator, and that's perfectly that happens all the time. The larger measured move from this inverted head and or from this head and shoulders top, is which that could potentially be if it doesn't already finish here, which is the first area, is on down to that golden pocket and at your previous support on the left at around 37, 36. And if not there, then down at 34, 33, at which place you'd have another couple of good entries and it would look interesting. And recovering these previous highs on the left afterwards, looking left at your right shoulder of that head and shoulder at $48 would be where it would aim to do if it had a good bounce from this area. And that's likely what happens if it doesn't manage to break it above the 50, which is at 42.91. And it likely does come down and test lower than its previous, most recent low at 37. Here's your 1 hour. You've come back and you've got close enough, and close enough is near enough to the 200 period moving average to say that that divergence that you saw in the lower time frames might be up and have used up all of its fuel. At the same time, you've bounced off the lower side of the neutral line. That's not good. Coming back, lose your own moving average on the hourly. That's not great at all. You had a potential Rick and Morty lips, which would have given you like the information about this being a down move confirmed, but they didn't even touch. So the weakness to the downside was quite strong at that point. And then, yeah, that looks like hidden bearish divergence in the context of a downtrend. If this doesn't make it above here, then it's going to go down. It's going to, I don't want to be the one to say it, but then that's just fucking, no one else is saying it. Right, 35.69. That's likely where it'll go to if it doesn't break this 200 on the early time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, your 50 is still above your 200. You come in for this potential cross. That's a test of the 200. You do that if you've put in certain divergences. You did that. You put in divergence at this top on the 4 hour time frame. You had a divergent but variously divergent top. It was in the oversold, so very recent and easy look back period between them. That's very relevant. You're in this negative formation, this bearish wedge. Prices breaking out of that first stop took it, like we said. Second one's down to 34 and change. might get to the golden pocket in between and then bounce, but hard to say for sure at this point. Your RSI has accumulated above the bearish control zone. That's very positive, but as we talked about, it had needed to be higher than this to be convincing anyone of anything in particular. And I would have liked to have seen it personally finish today above 141.15. Like to, don't necessarily give a shit what I want it to do, obviously. There, not necessarily, not at all. So there's what you're looking at, right? You need to get higher to break up into new areas and get rid of this horrible characteristic you've seen in a divergence and a number of time frames. Get away from it. You've got a gap above you. Is going to take some interest and catch some eyes. It's also looking left once, twice, and then previously it was resistance enough times that once you get there, you'd have to be asking extra questions about it. And then again, you've got your 200 period moving average and this downward slope, this like now resistance, which was previously upward sloping demand line, also all coming in around these levels. And that's up into including the 24th, all that way away in the 24th. Will we ever make it there to tomorrow? Well, better, because that's when most is happening tomorrow. The ghost of Cobber Roberts Piest. Cool. No, don't reach out. Do the rest of Busy Apes. Okay, so that looks like AMC, and that's time frames. We'll go up to the 4 hour. You can see, yes, that's that wedge. This is potentially still a bull flag. Lower highs, lower lows on the end of a massive bull pull. This is what this does as it goes up, makes new highs, come down, tests previous breakout zone, comes up close to its previous highs as it did here, then breaks down again with higher low as it has done. You know, this is slightly different. That's like a triangle. This is more of a flag than it was previously a pennant, and still think that's the way it's working. Still think so. And so depending on where you reaccumulate, if it does come down, you've got your 200 period there at just above $30 now, and that's like quite positive. It's really positive to see the 200 up so high on this thing. Like, no, I don't know how people talk about it, but here's a really positive sign: is your 200 period moving average on the 4 hour is now at 38.59 on AMC. And that's every day. That's getting higher and higher. That 200 period is getting higher and higher and higher. And that's your trend check right on it now at $38. So something good could be coming for it. Could be, but I'd like to see it lower first to get more if I wanted it. But that's like to then confirm a positive uptrend afterwards. And then let's go on to the daily. You test your 50 as you did on Nick, obviously. This looks like it's continuation of this accumulation on the RSI. It's managing to do it above the oversold zone here on that time frame. You've got a little bit more flux on DMI, and then you've got a not a good sign on the MACD there at all. Divergent, and then divergent bearishly, and then weak at the area you would be hoping for a test. Well, just got to be bearing these things in mind. Looks like it's going to go up a lot in the bigger time frames, but until it does like test lower, I'm not able to say that looks like it definitely will. So that's AMC TA GME 101.91, 191.24 is what it closed at. Post market we see at 191.70. The daily time frame are on there. We'll just keep it on, stretch it right out. You can see, looks like we're in this channel, right? This is like annoying me now that this line isn't straight. And anyway, so this is the upper side of it. This is the lower side of it. The two extreme white diagonally sloping lines here. Let's put in a W bottom. Let's put in bullish divergence. Not particularly on this time frame, but it did do on others anyway. So it's put in this W bottom. Let's also put in this inverted head and shoulders on your RSI, and at the breakout point of that you also had flipped on the DMI and you had a positive cross on your MACD beforehand, and all of that led to this move up, which took you up to around $225, and we were chopped off at the knees at that point by the max pain and the liquidity. And because the move had happened so fast, you know, it made the sum more complicated. And like you probably know, when it comes to complicated sums, most often people don't know the answer, and 80% of people get it wrong, especially if they can tell what other people are thinking, because other people think it wrong. And 20% of the people approximately get it right. It's 20% of them being GME Rocky. So there's your channel, and when prices are above the center of this channel, your RSI is in the bullish control zone. That's what it's been like during the period of time before the drop down. Your prices were in the bullish control zone, down, put in the bottom information, up again, back into the bullish control zone. That's when you're putting in highs. Highs, they don't necessarily turn into any sort of change of trend because they're all followed by higher lows, and so this could just be making its way up as it did on this occasion, or it could be this occasion, or this occasion, or this occasion. It could be making its way up again. Let's see that. It's below the center line, below its own moving average on the daily time frame, and the ADX is weak, showing that it doesn't matter much about the fact that your DI plus is in ascendancy on the DMI. And then you can see again that you've got weakness in your MACD, so it's not screaming about how it's going to make a move from this area. This area is below the 50, below the 200 period simple moving average, below the center line of this channel. And no, your 200 is way down here at 152. You've previously come close to that level before. That's good as well. It's just as the same with AMC now. Your 200 period moving average, which I don't know how many times in my career has saved the day, is now really freaking high up there, and that's really good news. You know, technical analysis news. Your 200 simple period moving average is now making it to $150 on AMC and GME. Sorry, AMC is making it up to 38. GME it's making up to 150. Like, that's long-term trend says the prices are up here from now on. And then boom, that's a problem on that RSI. You want that to do better. 4 hour, you've had a negative cross on your DMI. Your RSI has failed to cover the center line. It's tried and failed, which coincides with it trying and failing to maintain above the center line of the channel there. Like I just drew on, doesn't mean anything, but you know, it does represent like this linear progression of price action, and they're doing it along that middle line when it could previously have thought, I'll just do it along the bottom one. It's in exactly the same steep incline, then would have been positive. Didn't quite get it. 4 hour, you're not getting anything positive, no, you're not getting anything bad, because you potentially have bullish divergence on your momentum indicator there. Down on the 1 hour, you have then this occasion tried again at the center line, failed and dropped below your own moving average. You've also got this period of flux coming up on the DMI according to the flash in the background. You're touching that 200. Your 50 is above you at 198. Where will the prices go when this ends? They're on the lower side of the macro move, but you're in the higher level and have put in quite a resolute defense over the last couple of days of that area, which hasn't resulted in thrusts upwards, so we wouldn't expect to see anything positive there. Lower time frames, you're also losing out on some things, so see where that goes to. 185 below you there. Below that, you've got an area at 177, and then your lower side of this channel comes at 170. And do you get back there? At some point, you're going to test this line. Longer it goes on, the higher it is. That's all fine. And the same thing goes for the 200. It'll get dragged up with it. So we went from the bigger time frames down on this one, did we? There's a 5 minutes. What's it showing me? Absolutely nothing. Also got that flash that suggests it might come back for that. And if that represents something on that bigger time frame, and you do accumulate here on RSI and then get above the center line, then $206, let's call it. Cool. And like recovering this area sets you up to go back again and test this first target. You've already got it once, so $212 and change. Holding the line there will take you onto the Fibonacci extension 1721414, and that's your second target. It's at 225, 226, which is your previous horizontal resistance when you look left at this most recent touch. And then above that, you wouldn't be breaking structure if you look further left to get slightly higher up here, 255, $260. It's a liquidity zone. There's a lot of trades that have been done in that area. I'd expect there to be congestion for price action to get back there. And that is the Busy Apes TA for AMC GME. Thank you very much. See you. Hitting like and subscribe, please, because these Busy Ape series never get the stats. So if you want to see them, please click on those buttons. Thanks. Stop recording. Stop recording, Jamie. Stop recording. Boom. Back. As you can see, there's Buddy just on the left of the screen, and Sunk Puppet, Timer, all the generous people above them. Thanks. And then that's me in the middle. Oh my god, tired Jamie. So many ghosts here. Let's go. Hello. Hey, Pam. Yeah, we've been trying everything we can to doing a rain dance, chopping people's heads off. We're doing everything we can. Don't leave me. We won't leave you, Pam, but I might die. Everyone else will keep going if I do. No, sorry, next silly jokes. I'm a bit tired though. But I'll say that I'm absolutely exhausted. I am going to have to leave. I'm so exhausted. Did I do everything everyone wanted? I think I covered everything that we missed out on earlier, and all the little bits and blobs and blibs and blabs and blobsies. People were very nice. Lots of nice messages I read. Lots of things. I think I covered everything everyone asked for. I even think I did it again. I don't know. Did I? Hope so. We did a busy 8 version. We did ATER. We did Ride. We did GME. We did AMC. We did CRSP. We did NAC. We did AHT. We did EVGO. Interest in that. Should check it out. And we did SAVA, which is fucking killing it. Probably keeps fucking killing it. Oh, I'm making some as soon as I get home. What are we making? Gnocchi. Gnocchi. Gnocchi sounds good, doesn't it? Gnocchi. I always liked it. Toodles. Take care, beautiful humans. Take care, beautiful humans. I'm not letting die, Jamie. I'm not letting Dave die. Thanks. Thanks. Phew. Let's go. Tradespotting. I've got tickets for Monday. I've got a ticket for Monday. What, on the train? Where are you going on the Monday? I've got a ticket to ride. Who's on the chopping block? Have we got someone on the chopping block today? You've got tickets for Monday, doing Flair. Could we check out BBIG? Frick, that's right. You did ask me, Mifflig. Ah, damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Thought I was done. Thought I was done. Down 5%. It's an inverted head. There's a head and shoulders. Why come inverted? It isn't. It's set up head and shoulders. So really long one there. 5-10 minutes. Make it look better. Now it's just a downtrend off the back of it. There was your... Something like that. That's quite... Taking you down, should it break, to fill this gap. And is that a gap? It may well be a tiny one if it is. At 523, and that would be a nice entry on this thing. Your RSI failed to get above the center line here. Your 50 period of average is below your 200. Price action is weak in the face of weakness. It's responding with weakness. Fight weakness with weakness, says BBIG, which isn't particularly brilliant. Jamie, you're not on the charts. Jamie, back to the charts. Back to the charts, right? You're this is what I'm saying, right? You're fighting weakness with weakness here, right? It fails, the cross is bad. The measured move is awful. Your weakness in response, terrible. Stuck in below the 50 that whole time. Your RSI is persisting below the center line. And while you have got a positive cross in your DMI, it's come alongside as the ADX decided to completely fuck off on holiday somewhere. And then you've got a cross on your MACD that looks good. But on the 15 minutes and below the 200 already, that's just a trick to trap people. 30 minutes. You had a proper cross there that might take you back to your 50 period moving average at 32. Sorry, 742 as if it is. You've got horizontal support resistance at 681. That's unlikely to get above. Before that happens, I'd likely see the 50 come down. This thing itself tests 530, 520. Above you, if it does go up, you've got 798. I don't think it's getting above there anytime soon. Certainly not until you see some more strength on the thing. And while it might get there, because you have had this cross on the 30 minutes, and it does quite efficacious in taking you somewhere, and you haven't actually gone anywhere yet, it might happen there. It'll go back up again. Look at hourly time frame. There's your 200. Yeah, hold that, go up. You're going to your 50. That is taking you up there if that happens. That is the reason why you've stopped there. Okay. But you've still not got to anything above. Why have you not gone to anything above? The measure move on this is still a bit extended. Still got that gap to cover. It doesn't look like it's going to go up yet until it's done that. It does that 4 hour. It's good that the 50 managed to hold it there. You can see why this area here's once, twice, three, four, 5 times likely tested now that it's gone through it once. If you were to go up any further, you'd want to see it test this, so you could rely on it. This is positive if the RSI stays above this oversold zone, which it would well do even if prices came down to that 553 likely onto the daily time frame. That measured move takes you exactly to your 50 period, which might happen. You can see that would take you into this formation. It's not the be all and end of this thing. There is actually more gaps down below at around 170, and that's kind of scary for people trading this. Your momentum fell off a fucking cliff here. That is brutal. That's really brutal. That's like screaming reversal there. And your RSI has gone straight out of the bullish control zone, straight through the center line. That's shit. Like, so I expect it does come back to 521. I don't know what's going to do then, but we'll happily take a look at it afterwards. But I can't take any more of a look at it now because I'm so tired. When bing bong, the price is right. When it's right, sometime around then, well, afterwards it goes bing bong, then the price will be right again when the price is right. Wow, that'll be funny. I'm glad I don't have the ghost of me. I'm afraid of ghosts. Oh, Pam, you're brilliant. Good to see you, Pam. Right, so I'm going to go and have something to help myself somehow. Thank you, everybody. Glad I got to that with my glid. I would have felt bad afterwards if I'd done loads and missed out on you there. Is Wilfric's sacrifice strong enough when we know last tomorrow? Wilfric can't be sacrificed. He has to chop people's heads off. What are you doing, Wilfric? Wilfric's anyone but Homer. That's who his head we're chopping off. Anyone but Homer's. Number one thing you don't want Tradespotting to say about a stock you own: momentum fell off a cliff. Yeah, you don't really want me to say that about it. Look at it though, it's brutal. It's like so very intensely red too. It's like, nah, we're like gonna eat that neck. And anyway, sorry, I'm not going to go down that. I'm too tired to make those jokes. Number one thing, yeah, there's other things you don't want to say too, though, probably. Homer's rehypothetic ghost Tradespotting, my lord. Wilfred Doomslayer lays his neck upon thy holy gamma ramp to appease the gods. We need an executioner, my lord. There's no way Wilfred's getting his head chopped off. Will witness me. Okay, it's fucking happening, is it? Oh my god, is it happening, Wilfred? How do the gods feel about this situation? Is it happy? Is it sad? I'm here, I'm witnessing it. Is it happening? Wilfric, you're going to get put in the book of names. Cheers, thanks for streaming. You're welcome, Charles SEO. You're very, very, very welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm witnessing it, mate. Bait Bucket says, eat food, that'd be a good idea. I should try that sometime. My mum encourages me to do the same thing when she sees me. She thinks there's something wrong with it. I don't eat. It's just that I'm not interested in food. Thanks for all you do, Jamie. Much love and respect. Much love to you, Pam. You're freaking ace. I love you. Get some sleep. See you tomorrow. I will, dude. Who's chopping off Wilfric's head? Is he doing it himself? That's pretty brave. We ain't got no painkillers. Tradespotting. Hey, Jamie, GameStop newest tweet. New high score. Put your name on it. Does this imply direct registering shares? Put your name on it. New high score. Well, it's pretty hard because GameStop... Here, you know what, right? They're bringing... I don't know if you've seen it, right? But there's this show in the UK and it was called Games Master. And the presenter of it was called Dominic Diamond, who now I think lives in Canada somewhere, in north of Canada. He's such a funny dude. He used to stay very close to Rocky. So I'd see him, like, going to see Rocky all the time. And I'd be like, he's a totally normal bloke, hey? And like, and I've met loads of famous people and don't give a fuck about them. But he's not like famous. But when I was growing up, he handed out the golden joysticks on this TV show. Am I on a decent screen here so you can actually see me, or where am I? Aye. So this guy Dominic Diamond, he's a fucking legend. He's so underrated in terms of television presenting. He changed the whole culture over here the way it worked. He's a fucking absolute legend. Dominic Diamond, fucking hell. And he had this show, Games Master, and you played games against people on the television, like on the TV you were on, playing them, all the best games. And also you could phone in and play games on your phone, like using fucking amazing. And using like the keypad on your phone to play the game and that. Fucking it was so good. It was so good. And they're bringing it back, right? They're bringing back Games Master. And I don't know if I've seen his name mentioned, right? And if he isn't part of it, I'm going to ruin your show. I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to do everything I can to ruin it because it's his show. He should be presenting it. It's Dominic Diamond. Everything about that show is Dominic Diamond. And if Games Master comes back and either doesn't include him or itself be a huge tribute to him, you can fuck right off. You can fuck right off with that bollocks, right? People should get what they deserve, and he deserves the credit for that shit, not some fucking tube who bought the rights to it or something. And I want my fucking golden joystick. Tradespotting sounds like Super Hubert. Who's he? He sounds like a good guy too. Dominic Diamond is a fucking legend. His name was Wilfric Doomslayer. Boom. That's it. It's gone. Head is gone. Wilfric. Oh, yummy. Did you get some of that on you? Some of that lovely sangria? And this is the thing, right? GameStop tweeting new high score, put your name on it. That's like GameStop would tweet that any day of the week, whether moas.life or not. Check it out, moas.life. But does, have these parallels, doesn't it? That's hard to deny. And like, it isn't as if you're going to write that and the social media team at GameStop and not think to yourself, ha 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 ha, right? Also, if you do work at the social media section of GameStop, you will own GME. You will definitely own shares in GME. Fuck. Wilfric. His name was Wilfric. He's dead now, right? He'll have bled out by now. I mean, and it's heard it takes 7 minutes or something if your head gets chopped off. But in which case, sorry, we are writing your name in the book of sacrifices. Wilfric Doomslayer. That is him. Wilfric Doomslayer is dead. Long live the ghost of Wilfric Doomslayer. And so say all of us. And so say all of us. Thank you, Wilfric. That's a huge donation. And tomorrow, add him to the list. He's on it, man. He's on the fucking list right there. This list is getting bigger and bigger. We have got Dan Erst. Wow, the first sacrifice we ever made. Carissa. The amount of sangria we got that day was lovely. The jiu-jitsu guy. A very, very good day that was. The gods were pleased. Then Tony Picus, you, sir, were due to be sacrificed on a Tuesday. I have it here in this very important book. As you can see, it's got colours and shit. Tony, you let the gods down. So Homer made up for it. We had his head chopped off. The ghost of Homer now walks among us. Joe Blob, you were supposed to get your head chopped off, Joe. And you let the gods down, undoing all that good work we'd had put in before. And so, my friend, your head is on the chopping block literally next time I see you. Then we had Curran Robert, who saved the day, thank goodness. An impromptu sacrifice it was in the end. And then today, Wilfric Doomslayer. What a week. That happened over multiple weeks, those sacrifices. But Wilfric Doomslayer, oh my goodness. Head's gonna roll. Head's gonna roll. I can't spell because I'm tired too. You don't have to spell, Pam. I don't care about spelling. I think it's one of the most overrated skills in the world is spelling. I swear to God it is. Sorry, Katie Babes. It is. Your best, Jamie. Thanks very much. Wilfric Doomslayer is the best just now. Oh, praise the wee Dark Doomslayer. Now, somebody grab his head because this is the way it works, right? You stick your hand right inside it, right? Get that shitey brain and stuff like shitey brain, sorry, but he's dead now anyway, it doesn't matter. Get that, stick your head in there, and then aim it to the sky, whoever picks it up first, and say, hello, gods! Hello! Hello, gods! Until they answer you, right? And when they do, then you say, please push up the price of GME, right? GME, push it up! And they'll say to you, trick question now, and what do you want us to do about AMC? And you say, I just said push the price of GME up, you dick. Just put GME up, right? And then do that with Wilfric's jaw flapping against the bottom of his face. And your hand running in his sangria. With the rest of them lying around there, somebody will pick them up in the palm leaves all wrapped around, bury them in the beach and noise the fire pit and cook them. We'll all eat them later. And because it's Wolfric, the gods will listen, the price of GME will likely go up. And where will it go to? Well, it would be nice if they went somewhere near the max pain, and that max pain was higher than 200. Where is it though? It won't be, will it? Will it? Will it? Will it? Will it? Ooh, can you see it there in this little chart? Maturity, the 24th and the 9th. GME volume. Whoa, look at these coming in here at this place again. Yeah, you can see max pain 195. 195. Not bad, right? That means like anywhere between 190 and 200 you're in max pain. It doesn't really have to be 195. There is no strike price at 100, like either side of that. It's like the $10 either side of it's what you're looking to. So $5 either side of it is 190 and 200. So that's what you're looking to. You finish above 200, incredible. Finish below 190, equally surprising. Does it matter? No, none of those levels matter at all. None of them. Though above 200 is nice, especially when you've been back down way low and you make it back above 200. It's like, fuck yeah. And I expect that we'll be talking about the same thing about being back above 280, 290, 300 and all that in future, my lords. Right, so that's a bit of the wrong colours, making me flash too much. Thank you very much for tuning in. As you'll have noticed, I got a new t-shirt on. It is from unreasonable.shop. This is a picture of one of us. This is picture of Unreasonable Land disappearing on a rocket, a monkey and a kiss, isn't it? Ah, brilliant. You can get that on unreasonable.shop. If you want to support the channel and support me and all we do here, which would be very much appreciated, thank you. Or you could just let me wither and die on the vine, not even feed me my precious porridge flakes, and watch me crumple up in the sun. Not that there is any here in Scotland. Oh, dearie beady me. Me and my poor porridge eating me. Jamie, lol, I got my t-shirt just like yours today. Paul B, you got this t-shirt today? This t-shirt's fucking brilliant. This fucking t-shirt is fucking brilliant, eh? Like, I was my favourite one to get. I love the Bing Bong ones, but I can also wear, like, I have got a number of these. I have to admit, I bought a number of them so that I could wear them pretty much every day of the week. And I fucking love them. I also like a white t-shirt with a small graphic in around there, so it's fucking perfect. I shall be written in the book. What, Jen, are you going to be getting written in the book? You're walking into danger now, Jen. Do you not get that sense? I sense it just reading that. Nice one, Robert. Got to keep them accountable. Yeah. Tradespotting, Jen Campbell and Katie Babes need to be added to the list. They gave their heads for the cause. The Ghost of Wolfric Doomslayer, they did as well. You chopped their heads off. Did you really? Why did you sacrifice yourself today as well then? You're really addicted to this. I didn't see this get happening. And Jane has the same name, but she's laughing with that perhaps evil laugh. You got my support. You got my love, you got my support. Excellent. Well, thank you, Pam. You've got my love and support too. You're a legend. Thanks so much. Pam does so much for all the communities. She's a legend. I'm mad because my ghost was rehypotheticated 9 times now. Kieran Norman, you've been rehypotheticated 9 times. Have you even had your head chopped off? Because you're not in this book. And Katie Babes and Jen both got their head chopped off today. I don't remember any of this. Just Duro to be sacrificed. Jen Campbell, CC, Ghost, Katie Babes at Tradespotting. Right, these are to be sacrificed. These are potential sacrifices then. Okay, Duro. I didn't actually witness Jen get her head chopped off there, and I see she has the same name. And Katie Babes, who you say has a ghost, but I see has a ghost, but also has a real name. So I'm unsure if she has been sacrificed yet. If she has, her head should be lying around here somewhere. Someone find it. The ghost of Curran Roberts passed. I'm afraid I'm only helpful when it comes to copyrights, but I feel free to direct all music licensing questions my way from here out, says Jen Campbell. Why? Because you're getting your head chopped off, so when you have to deal with it. What you like, Jen? You said you were blonde earlier, and now you're asking to answer complicated questions. I'm suspicious. No, I still have my head. I'm just saying it sounds like a poltergeist shit wrapped in a ghost shit. I'm just saying. For GME gods, pickled him. Exactly. What's not obvious about this? They pickled him to appease the gods of the Jagamaramp. Exactly. Right. Some not realised. Anyway, why? You're volunteering. Trust me, mate, the more it's appreciated. If you are volunteering, it'll likely come at the start of next week, which gives you at least 2 days at the gym, lots of healthy eating, good sleep, and, spend at least half an hour, 45 minutes doing something for yourself that you enjoy, if it is to be the end on Monday. Family games. As my Bing Bong shirt shifted yet. And what color is it? All this talk about t-shirts making me antsy. I don't know if it's shipped yet, but it's ordered and in the process of making its way to you. But I don't know if it's shipped yet. I'll get an email, I suppose, when it's shipped. I may have already got one. I don't know. It might have shipped yet. I don't know. What color is it? It's yellow. It is yellowy gold. It's called gold on the website. It's gold. It's gold Bing Bong. Family games. Mr. Family Games is the gold a bing a bonga. Thank you very much. Yes, that was the DMs. That was funny, that message. Is this the DMs? Yes, it is. There's Jiro. Jiro is not smiling. Why is that not a smile, Jiro? You're away to get your head chopped off soon. Jiro, I'll maybe get those smiles in. Well, you can. I make my final arrangements. Pickle Tim's. Excellent. Let's get your name in here. Pickle Tim. Okay, now you've done that. If you don't show up again, Pickle Tim, you piss off the GME gods. This is the way it works. They're so, what's the word? Pernicious. No, that's not the word. They're so... What's the word? What the GME gods are so deaf. They're deaf until such times as we annoy them, in which case they've got perfect hearing. It's quite annoying. That's why it's really good when we get the good sacrifices in there. Wolfric, they'll have heard that. Least never give away your rights. Least never give away your rights. Jen Campbell sorting it right out here. Jen actually is sorting it out here. Tradespotting, would you give the headline... The headless corpses emoji a try? There are many who now need it. It's spooky in here. Okay, I can write that down. This is a good idea. Headless emoji. Add that. Okay, we got it. We got it along with loads of other things noted. This was great. Thanks so much for joining me for the breaking news, the charts, and all the news on the ticker, including watching the t-shirt, spending time with the song puppet, and of course our friend Buddy in the Buddy cam over there. What a strange... Oh, it's because of the... behind there you've got a wheel, a spinning wheel. And it'll be out tomorrow! It'll be out for trade sloshing! Wow, fucking trade sloshing Fridays are the best. I can't wait. I'm really fucking looking forward to it. I know it means that Sunday and Saturday aren't trading days, which used to piss me off about Fridays, but now... And Saturdays. But now I've got the Fridays coming up. And we're going to get sloshed. I'm going to get sloshed. Fuck, I'm going to get so sloshed. The emoji is in your Discord DM now as we speak. Holy McJugers. What a community we have of the headless folks around here. We're doing what we can. You know, I don't see anybody else out there on the other YouTube channels sacrificing themselves to appease the gods, you know? And they will appreciate it. They will come through for us. That's the way it is. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. That's the way gods are, right? They hear you, don't they? I think so. All of them do, don't they? I don't know. Anyway, stop drawing pictures, Jamie. Trade sloshing, trade spotting in the booze. Aye, Palm Trader. Tradespotting. The emojis are great. Excellent. Right. Ghost go for it. Tradespotting. What is your favourite bottle of scotch? My favourite, one that you're enjoying. One that you're sat and you're enjoying, and I know that you're enjoying because you have it and not me. That's my favourite one. If it was one that I had that I liked, I don't know. It's too hard. It's too hard. One that I'd keep for hundreds of years and would be worth thousands of tens of 20 billions of dollars. That's one I was going to drink then. One that somebody else was getting on my behalf. One that was not too expensive and was definitely just someone being not going too crazy. Trade chopping. And failing all of that, and because none of those were real answers of any use for or help for you at all, then what was that one? I was doing this before, and I was looking up what would be the best whiskey to get during MOAS, and it was a Scotch that was like, you want something that's ideally you want a Scotch that's over 12 years old, and which is good at the minute because but over 12 years, and then ideally a little bit more. If it was aged for 12 years and it's older than that now, then it takes you back to being made before 2008. And that's important for a number of reasons, that if you are drinking Scotch, it was made pre-2008. And if you can get stuff that's like from before 2008, which is still as good quality now and not infected by those fucking bastards, amazing, right? Amazing. Makes it better, even if, for no reason other than that alone. Never fucking forget Lafroig. Can hard to argue with that. Highland Park, 17 years old. You're not arguing with that either. You can't argue with any of those. Hi, Borgenes Gassi. Join, it's fucking incredible in here. Join. Yes, join. Have a nice time. Join in here. It's incredible in here. Hello. Well, you're here. You're joined already, my friend. Thank you very much. Don't tell Rocky I didn't do my squats today. Pam. That's the first thing I'm doing. Pam didn't do her squats. Tell Rocky. No, I'm not going to, because I'm not a grass. I won't tell Rocky. But I'll tell you what, Pam, those squats are for your own benefit. Rocky does them because he was recently again hospitalized with blood poisoning, and again at death's door, and then took his recovery a long time to get back to just where he was before. So it's been hard and hard and hard. And one of the things he thought was he'd start doing these squats at the start of the show, because then they're hard for him and TA is hard for you. And if you do the TA with him and he does the squats with you, then you'll both get better at everything. And if you also need to do squats at the same time, good idea. It gets your blood pumping. It helps you to learn the stuff you're going to be doing. It's right before market open, which is a really good way to do it if you're a trader anyway. Do something before market opens to get your blood running. This is a war. So, yup. Think about the squats. Say it's good for you. It is. But, also I understand, like, squats are hard, especially if you've got a sore knee or something, or a historical injury or that. And in which case, there's other things you could do if you want to. And I'll definitely do them with you if you want to chat about that. I am there in the morning. Check it out, Rocky's. Does that work? I can do with all the computers in this house. I can do that with all these computers. With all these computers. Computer. You can or can't? If you can, excellent. I was busy this morning, Pam says. We're all busy, Pam. Though you are a very busy lady. Bana Bain, 12 years is a sweet one. Bana Habain. 12 years. And it's sweet, huh? I do like sweet ones. Technically, the squats are just as difficult as the TA for me, Peller Dog. Good man. And that, you don't have to do the squats. It's just because he's got a standing desk and it's X, Y, and Z. There's other things you can do. Haha. Cece's Ghost. I actually slept really well until Jamie starts to rant. Ah, shit. I'm not ranting, am I? What did I do? Says Bulldog Buchanan. Homer, what did I do? I don't know. What did anyone do? Not enough is probably the answer. Good for Rocky. Good for all he is. This is a paddling for a bulldog. Okay, I'm going to go now. No skipping squats. Them's the rules. You shouldn't be skipping them, really. But we'll let you off this once. Okay, I'm going to check out that DM. Okay, I'll catch up on my squats now. Okay, Pam. What time is it over there now? That might be about the right time to do it. Well, I hope you got comfortable. You're just saying that, Pam. I know you are. 1 or 2 is enough. Don't push yourself too much. Why is everyone mad at me? Why is everyone mad at me? Hey, yeah, hi. I don't think everyone's mad at you, Bulldog Buchanan. Not really. I can't imagine it to be really angry at you. Not really. Jen Campbell, I fell asleep once during Rocky's dream and I had a dream that I met Tradespotting and then proceeded to do an impersonation of him. Nice! Was it good? Katie, expect me post MOAS. Bam, 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 bam. See when the MOAS happens. See after this MOAS. See right after it, right? I'm going to come and get you. I'm going to come and get you. A dram, have one Tradespotting. Now, Canny, it's Thursday and tomorrow's the drinking stream. You crazy? I also haven't got any whiskey on me. I've only got, what? I've not got anything left. I need to do shopping for Banana Freeze tomorrow. Thanks for everybody for tuning in and for all the likes. 420 likes. Wow, that's amazing. It is a little bit different. It used to be that I'd be at this stage of the show and it'd be 2,500 likes. And that's like not that long ago. And there was, just a couple of weeks before that, I'd get to this stage of the show and there'd still be 400 of yous watching. There'd be about 58,000 likes. Crazy different now. And then back then, a couple of weeks before that, there would be like a good 100,000 likes, like 80,000, 100,000 views. It was crazy back then. Crazy. But everyone's just letting poor porridgey and Jamie's withering, dying on the vine. Withering and dying. Have a good evening, Tradespotting. And all you lovely folks, can't wait to see what's in store for tomorrow. Well, Wolfric chopped his head off, so shit's going to go crazy. It's obvious. Tradespotting, lol, pretty much. I'm coming for the collection of whiskey. Good decision. You don't have to wait till after Moas. He's a nice chap, KT. He'll share it. We'll probably just turn up price to start with. Tradespotting. Reminder to get more bananas for the banana freeze. Shit, good shout, banana freeze. You got me. Jamie, your streams continue to get better and better, not only from a TA and educational standpoint, from a consistency and entertainment angle also. I believe this is a correct formula. Thank you, Paul, very much. I think start times are perhaps overrated. Tried it for a while, started it all the same time, all over and over. Viewers just went down. But the stream is getting better, quality is getting better, and feel better connection with all he is. I hope new people don't turn up and think, it's too tight a group, I can't get in there. I hope everyone feels welcome. That's the whole idea. Thundering, Jen Campbell, and I rely on you guys being nice to people because they'll see us all being friends with each other, and then everyone that's a stop. But they'll think, how do I get in touch? How long have these people known each other and that? Because you're all so nice to each other, and nobody's any more important or excluded. So wear a thong, sing a song, or just wait for the church to move. These are all good ideas. This was Thong Thursdays, wasn't it? Shit, that was Thursdays. Was that Tuesdays? No, Turnip Tuesdays and Thong Thursdays. Could it have been Thong? No, we went with straight sloshing. Is it a bit far too walk at the minute? Might get a little bit too wet. You don't want to get too wet. It's not Wet Your Pants Wednesdays doing Money All Stars. Bye, family. Love you all. Love you all too. Yes. So thanks, everyone. Can't remember what I was talking about, but it was important. So do it. Make sure of it. If it's liking and commenting this video, definitely. If you haven't subscribed, new people, thanks. If you haven't seen me before, thanks. And if you're watching this afterwards, cheers. Very much appreciated. You come back sometime, and if you subscribe, it's easier, but definitely come back sometime. Either way, thank you very much. And everybody who tunes in all the time. Guys, come on, guys. I love you. Come on. I mean, just say it. I love you so much. Changed my life. Somebody said earlier that I had helped change. It was Hazel Wise had said, but it's exponential. My goal's exponential and it's helping other people. And it's already happening. And the truth is, these are all helping me. Totally changing my life as well. And I fucking love it. I love doing this. 11 plus 1 for you, Pam, the trader. 11 plus 1, 11 million. All welcome. Observe myself. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for interacting. Thank you, everybody, for all the support. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow for the trade sloshing. Same time now. Same place now. With all the same people and more. Thanks. Fridays are the best. Tune in. Bye.